I just got them for everybody. All right.
Sure.
Like me. Didn't think you was gonna be here. Well, I got out of my audit early.
You passed?
Huh?
You passed?
I did.
The doctor said.
No. Not yet.
All right, good morning. I'll call the budget hearings back to order here this morning, August 22nd, 2025. So at this point, we are open for discussion. I think we've been through all the budgets from our department heads, so now we need to probably go through and start trimming what you want to trim and go from there.
Well, I guess I'd like to discuss overtime.
Okay?
It's something that's getting out of hand and out of control, and I spoke to a fellow county councilman from another county and asked him how much their overtime was, and he said it was $139,000. And well, I told him ours was approaching $550,000 to $600,000. He about spit through the phone and couldn't believe how it was getting out of hand. I don't know if we need to hire a professional scheduler to help these people figure out their schedules so we don't have so much overtime, or what we need to do, but this is not sustainable to keep growing. I mean, if you look at the time period, how fast this overtime has just exploded, it's not going to be sustainable. I mean, like next year, you'll be pushing $700,000, and we need to cut. So.
Are you talking the same amount of people?
Well, EMS is the worst one. When you figure that one per person, it comes out to $15,500 per person. You could easily hire 2 more paramedics and keep on staff and cut people's overtime and save money.
The trouble is,
We can hire professionals. Don't tell me you can't figure out with 14, 15 people, you can't cover the shit. I mean, I think you can be done. I really do.
at the paramedics, is finding the paramedics in Worcester County. I don't, and where you sit with the EMS and see the problem, and I agree with you 100%. The trouble is we can't match money, but then on the other thing, we got other problems with EMS, my personal opinion. And with the cost of inflation today, I think it's going to go down the drain. Now, I agree we needed to take it over from what Knox County was doing. The trouble is we didn't set it up right. But today, with the cost that we're facing, we was at 1.1 when we started, we're at 1.9. You don't have the money to keep up with it. It's sucking you dry. And overtime, I can't disagree with you. I mean, you're right. We got so many hidden factors. In your business, you couldn't operate like this. You get rid of it. Brad and I was talking last night. It's a dead horse.
Right.
We got so many dead horses, and we're not doing nothing, and we're seeing it come at us, but we're not addressing the issue.
Gotta address it.
You know, I can't hear you, son.
I'm sorry.
The microphone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there are a bunch of people on here listening for you and,
I'm sorry.
oh, yeah.
But at this point, I gotta think. I mean, I watched you guys last night when I got back after I woke up. I don't know what the answer is, but when you got X amount of dollars, and my biggest fear, I'll tell you, is this SB1. And I know some of you are not concerned about it. Maybe I'm over concerned. If we lose what we've got now in a shortfall, where are we gonna be? And when you take your overtime, but your sheriff department, and you look at the people that's involved, yeah, they wanna make money. And I was sitting there thinking this morning, our jobs, I don't know how to say it, our jobs are important jobs. Everybody in this county has got an important job, from the auditor to the treasurer to EMS to the sheriff. But sometimes I don't know that we can pay, and I'll look at this report here about other county pays. I don't know that we got enough money to do that, to be compliant. But you look at the population, we've got the same problems that all the other counties got. Do you get to make what a doctor makes?
No.
And nothing against a doctor, nothing against you. But sometimes we can't afford the same as others.
Well,
Oh.
and I understand the concern about we're not sure about what SB1 is going to do. But on top of that, it doesn't change, it's not sustainable. And so then if we are concerned about our money coming down from SB1, then why would we just continue the process and enable a process that the overtime is going to keep going up? We've got to figure out something to change that trajectory.
Well, and I don't think it's responsible to the taxpayers. I mean, you're just opening up the checkbook, and they're setting their schedule, so they automatically build in overtime, and that's not fiscally responsible, sustainable, you know.
Brent is not going to have any less overtime until he gets a full staff. And I don't know why he don't. I don't know. I think he's 2 people short now. I don't know why he can't get them. I don't know.
But it could still be scheduled. You
Yeah.
tell me with the number of employees that he has, that he still can't fill the schedule and not work overtime. It can be done.
He needs to-
It can be done with 911, it can be done with every position.
He needs-
And like I said, if it can't, then we hire a professional scheduler to come in and tell him how to do it.
He needs to do, he's the head lead, he's the leader. He needs to do the scheduling.
Department heads are managers, and they need to manage their budgets and their timesheets and their schedules.
Right.
And that's where we're falling short.
I'm going to add that if you go back and historically look at it, when we took away the chance for people to buy out their vacation at the end of the year and they didn't use it, and now if they don't use it, they lose it, people can't, they take off now, and that leaves them shorthanded, and overtime has shot up. And I know, talking to Brent, he specifically told people that that would happen. And he's not wrong. It did happen. And you can look at his numbers historically and see that that was probably one of the stupidest moves that we made, was taking that option away to people, because now you're leaving these departments stuck, because now if somebody doesn't have time to leave to take their vacation, and they know they're going to have to leave to take the vacation time, and they leave in a tight spot, we could have bought that time back at regular time, but now we're stuck paying time and a half. And I hate to be the one to say I told you so, but I had a feeling this was going to happen, and I pointed it out years ago, and now you can look at the numbers and see that it's there.
what
And
part-
his office was the first one to say, that ain't gonna work for us.
So a question to you, Karen, what part of this 600,000 that's gonna go up is based on that? And what
Looking
part
at
of
the
it-
numbers historically, I'd say about a third of it.
About a third of it? Okay,
Yeah.
so the other 2/3, where's that coming?
That's
from?
always historically kind of been there.
You know, so
So
the question
you're gonna have
is-
this built-in overtime in every department from here. I mean, EMS is designed to have built-in overtime, 911 is designed to have built-in overtime. So
But it's
even
not
your sheriff's,
ethical to have built-in overtime.
but we're not a normal 40-hour job like he's saying. You've got departments that.
If you have enough employees and you position their schedule right, you won't have overtime.
There's the problem.
They built it
there's-
in automatically, so they
there's-
get this extra money.
EMS,
EMS, you can't hire enough, levels, like paramedics are hard to hire. There's very few of them available, or at least we haven't been able to hire them.
Can't find them.
They're just not out there. And if they are, you know, I think, I remember a few months back, he was a paramedic short, had one retired and was trying to hire a guy, but the guy lived in Kentucky somewhere, you know, I mean, it was a long distance, for him. So I think that hurts you on the EMS side specifically because you have to have a certain amount of paramedics, a certain amount of advanced, certain amount of EMTs. And I think the workforce just doesn't have enough of those people in those positions qualified to hire them. That's been a problem.
That's a nationwide problem. It's not just Washington County.
Yeah, it's,
But according to you have to be staffed right to be correct, so that you're not open for another lawsuit. Or we've always had that trouble.
we all know the workforce problem, and that's the same problem that the sheriff has. He can't keep enough staff, so if he's shorthanded, then the people who are left manning the ship are automatically going to receive more overtime. That's a problem in itself. But I think what Mr. Armstrong is stating is that even though those circumstances exist, we do, if we're doing our job, we should seriously be looking at limiting this overtime because it is bleeding us. That is Mr. Armstrong's point. We are paying out a lot more overtime than what we should. This has been talked about in the past, and it snowballs. Whether vacation enters into the picture or not. Every time somebody takes a week or 10 days off and utilizes their earned vacation time off, then that's going to require someone to man the ship who already has all their hours, and they're going to receive overtime to make up the difference for the person who's taking off. But it does need to be looked at because it's getting out of hand, and there's our raises, there's where they're all going. I mean, when you start looking at over $500,000 in overtime, gosh, what could we do with $500,000?
And the problem, it continues to grow every year. Somehow or another, we don't address the issue, and it's going to have to be addressed. The department heads, maybe they can come up with a better idea. Are there supervisors in place? I know when I worked in some other places, you know, you go to Walmart or you go to Ford dealership or you go whatever. If somebody's taken off, a lot of times the supervisors who are not on an hourly rate will check in and take up some of that time frame, where it's not an extra burden on the taxpayer. In other words, the supervisor, he's going to get his money anyway.
That does happen.
He may have to work.
That's what they're for.
He may have to
That
work
does happen.
20 hours that week, okay?
Right.
Hey.
I mean,
well,
it's no secret,
So
like
it's a-
Phil was saying earlier, you've got your emergency services crews who nationwide don't work your 8-hour days. They just don't, because they're a 24-hour job. So you're always going to have built-in overtime, no matter what emergency services position you're in, whether it's EMS, 911, or police, or fire. They're always working 12-hour shifts or 10-hour shifts. So you're always going to have that with them. There's no way around it. Can you have the floater position? Yeah, you probably could. But what if your floater can't be there that day? You're not ever going to not be able to avoid it at some point in time.
I agree 100%.
But
You're right.
I agree. There's gotta be some overtime. Does there have to be over $500,000 a year?
No.
You're not gonna be able to cut it all out, but
You
as
can't-
long as you
right,
can do
that's my
some
point.
little moves to start it trending back down instead of
We've
climbing
got to
up.
start
Like,
decreasing.
if we can cut a third out,
Yeah,
you know, with the,
we can't
by
stop all.
giving back the buyback vacation days, you know.
The only justifiable overtime to me is the highway department. When we have storms and they're working nights and weekends, and that's about the only justifiable. I mean, I understand there's gonna be circumstances where you're gonna have sick, you know, police officers, EMS. Otherwise, it's scheduling is all it is. It doesn't have to be a 12-hour work. If you get enough employees, it's an 8-hour shift on EMS.
yeah, but what you're saving in overtime pay, you're turning around and spending in longevity and health insurance and benefits and all that other stuff. So what are you really gaining then?
Then we
You're
have
not gaining
13
anything.
employees and we're spending $217,000 in overtime. We can hire 3 additional employees.
I dare you to go to any other outside area and go ask any other EMS how much they're spending in overtime, because I guarantee you it's just as much as we're paying, if not more, because they pay better wages than we do. And they're all on the same 24/48 schedules. Every one of them. Because I sat on that ambulance board for over 2 years, and I researched it for a year before I got on there. So I know the ins and outs of that pretty darn good, and I'm telling you, we're not the highest paid one around here, but they're all working 24/48 schedules. So you're going to be hard pressed to find any EMS service around here that doesn't pay overtime.
We're not saying that. We're not saying.
But he's
not
saying
paying
that he
overtime.
doesn't justify it in an emergency services situation. You can't be that way.
I'm-
Otherwise, you're not going to be able to have any employees at all, because that's what they're used to working. We can't change the nationwide options that everybody's got and say, oh, well, we're going to be different, because we tried that here too. We did 2-day-a-week schedules, and I can guarantee you, when they did their 2-day-a-weeks and they're working 24 hours a day, 2 days a week, that's still 48 hours, and we had a heck of a lot more overtime than we do now.
I think the point is Mr. Armstrong's trying to make. I think I know Todd understands that there are built-in overtime schedules due to the nature of public safety, EMS, you know, somewhat sheriff's department, but we're not going to do anyone any good unless this issue is addressed. I think that's Mr. Armstrong's point, because it has gotten out of hand. Now, what the answer is remains to be seen yet, but I think it seriously needs to be addressed.
So I have a question for Todd.
Yes. Oh, that one?
Mr. Armstrong, Mr.
Okay.
Armstrong, sorry, I apologize. So, Karen just said that, we're not, what you were talking about is not really gonna do anything to reduce overtime. It's impossible, basically. I'm not, I mean, just historically, it's,
Plus, part of your growth too is the fact that we've been giving raises pretty consistently the last few years. So the higher the hourly rate, time and a half, that's going to go up too. So you have to factor that into your evaluation when you're looking at overtime.
yeah. If we're bleeding out $600,000, none of us, or no one's gonna get a raise, you know, as far as side note, but I understand. But I was just clarifying what she was saying, and to you, you talked to a county, someone who is,
Similar.
did I understand that
They're on the
right?
county
Just-
council from Spencer
They're
County.
almost like us.
Yes.
And so, did you ask him how they get to only, how much did you say?
$139,000
Did you
in
ask
overtime.
him how they get to that?
He said they had a lot of part-time EMS people, and they keep their positions full, and just, I mean, they don't budget it and won't allow it. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Does their population require the same people on duty as ours does? I just pulled their population up, and they're right at 20,000. We got almost a third more in population, which could kick us into the higher.
That's fine, so add a third to it. So 139, so you're almost $200,000.
But there's-
I'd be happy with $200,000 budget
There's
for
a breaking
overtime.
point, though, where you go over, see, so. You do the math, and at 13 employees, That's 672 hours that's gotta be put in a week. That's at 13 employees, that's 52 hours a week. That's not including when they take off for vacation and all that. If you go talk to Tony and Mike, they will be more than happy to educate you on how that works.
I'm just looking at the line item for overtime on their budget, and it's went from 8,000 in 2023 to 217,000 in 2026.
I feel the pain, but
Well, I'm just saying, how
At
do you
one
just?
time during peak hours, they ran a third truck. I don't know that they're able to
Yeah.
do that now with staffing, but at
I
one
don't
point in
think they are.
time,
I don't think they are. Todd, do you know?
He's no different than Brent. Same situation. He can't find, he struggles to find enough to fill what he has now. And this, like you say, it doesn't matter what it is. It's not, it's worse in public safety. But just walk around the square, there's not a business in town that doesn't have a help wanted sign on the front door. This is the times we live in, and unfortunately, the only person that's paying for this in the end is the taxpayers. That's why our overtime's so high.
Well, when both trucks are out, we have 3 trucks. When both trucks are out, they have to call the on-call in. And they got, I don't know how much, I don't know if they pay them 4 hours or 5 hours or, but still.
they're paid, it's kind of like waitress rates. That's what I always teased and joked about. It's waitress rates until they go into the station and they clock in, and then they're paid their normal rate.
Okay.
So it's like being paid $2 or $3 an hour to sit there and be 30 minutes within station, and then you get there, you clock in, and you run your call, and you're paid your normal rate then, and then you clock back out from your run, and you're back on a normal, like $2 or $3 an hour thing, or whatever it is.
That's for an on-call?
Yeah, for
Okay.
on-call. That's how that works. So you have all your part-time people. And, I mean, you can have as many part-timers as you want that want to work on-call, but you get to a point where
You can't get anybody to fill the on-call.
you can't get anybody to fill your on-call. So, and that's the part they're in now.
And I know they were having that trouble here a while back, and actually Mike and Tony were sitting, you know, at the station, because if they had 2 ambulances out, you know, if they were busy, then they were having to go in to kind of be the on-call in case something happened, you know, because they didn't have anybody to fill the on-call. And I think that happens pretty often with them.
And Homeland Security dictates a minimum number of ambulances you have to have
Yeah.
based on your population too. So as the community grows, you get to a point where you're required to run 2 trucks or 3 trucks or whatever it is.
So who determines the rates
The rates,
on the ambulance service? Because basically what I see is, a lot of times, Ascension is just like a stopping point, and then we ship them out, and we end up doing the transfers. You know, I've known people in the last couple of weeks have been at the hospital. You go, you sit there in the emergency room, and then you just figure out where they're gonna ship you to, because they normally don't keep you there at Salem. So then we end up doing all the transfers, and we're the ones that's bearing all the costs.
Well, we don't do those
they don't.
transfers.
Oh, we're not doing it? Okay, that's what I was asking. Okay.
They dropped us a few
No.
years ago.
Okay, so we don't have to do any of
We've
that.
met with them, we've had multiple meetings with the hospital.
We can't pick up any of that.
Haven't been able to get the transfers back.
They don't wanna pay.
They don't wanna pay. They want us to
they
do
have no problem
transfers.
paying an outside service
Right.
to come in and do it, but they don't want to pay
but-
us to do it.
But the bottom line is, the point of all this is, this does need to be addressed. Now,
Right.
how we're gonna go about it, that's
We are
your
not
call.
gonna solve it right now.
No.
But we have, just like he says, we gotta have a trend the other way. We can't, the trend cannot keep
Yeah, it keeps
increasing
going
year
up.
by year by year.
Whether
Because,
it's small or big, you just
You gotta
start
trend down.
little and
yeah,
Todd, just to give you an example, Transcare, who is contracted with St. Vincent's to transport, due to the shortage of manpower, help, they can't get help either. They, to avoid taxes, they come up with you call it a scheme, it's perfectly legal. Instead of hiring full-time employees, they are hiring paramedics and paying them $66,000 for 16 weeks of work to transport patients. That's how bad it is. It's the help situation. But that's just a sideline story, but that's the truth.
Mike and Tony both told me if they cut out the overtime package, they would never be able to get any employees because that's what bumps their salaries up and makes.
That's what everybody says. That's what 911 says.
Well, I mean,
That's what everybody says, but I'm
you
like,
hear 'em out.
I'd rather put money into their pay than have it on overtime. Because you're paying them time and a half, and it's just like, it's just exploded.
It's that
But then you gotta
lifestyle
get
that
the
they're
extra
used to living,
employees.
because that's what those schedules have always been since the beginning of time, because they're emergency services. So when they say that, they're used to that, because that's all they've ever known.
But how do we go from
Always known.
8,000 to 217,000 in 4 years?
That's correct. You got no problem.
I would be interested in hearing what, and I don't know if Spencer County runs their own ambulance service or if they hire it out to, maybe we need to get their.
I'm just saying, it's gotta be looked at between EMS, sheriff,
Take a look at what they're doing.
911.
To keep it away from,
Yeah.
I mean,
We gotta figure out something. It's just not sustainable.
It's more than not sustainable, it's out of control.
Right.
Yes.
So who's paying this $66,000? Where's that money coming from?
Transcare,
And where are they getting their money?
well, obviously the fees they charge to hospitals.
And how are they collecting that? We're having trouble collecting. I mean, yeah, I've
There's
heard
no
the
problem
60
getting collected.
I've heard the 66,000, I'll go along with you. I see the shortfall, I'll go along with it. My trouble is, we can't collect for just a basic call that we're told yesterday or day before, or a week ago, that we're paying 50% collection fee. And the trouble of it is, we all know, we've got a heck of a lot of bad debt. You could make money, every one of us could make money if people paid their bill. Let's be honest. The trouble of it is, we're not being paid for the service we provide.
Well, that's a problem, that's been a problem since the beginning of time, people,
And that's the problem.
that's part of it.
So the other question I got is overtime, vacation, and comp is all lumped into one line item. So you really don't know how much is overtime, how much is comp, how much, I guess, I'm new to this, so I don't know. Can we split that back out so you know exactly how much each one of those line items is? I'm sure they did. I'm just saying, because it makes it more gray.
Yeah, it's a lot less transparent to those in charge.
Right. And then also, it's like EMS, they don't list the number of employees that they have on here. Like on Brent's, he's got each individual, and you know how much each one of them's making and how many there is total. You don't even know how many there is on EMS without asking. I'd like to have that broke out by line item too, if they can.
One thing that Kyra was just talking about too, that's something to consider in this is that you've got to think about holiday pay. A 12-hour person, they get time and a half for working that day also. So that's another one of those baked into the mix that we have to saying eliminate, that's not what I'm saying, but we gotta look at everything too. I agree with Andrew, I agree with going down. Now, how that looks, we got people that understand that way better than me, but. Just to say, well, it's always been, we need to.
I think if you can make one small decision that says a third, that's a start.
Right.
That was my thought.
Implement the buybacks. Don't force them to use or lose their vacation time. Brent came to me afterwards and was like, oh, this is gonna kill me. And I was like, oh, I know. It was the same thing I heard from EMS. They're like, oh, this is gonna hurt. And I'm like, I know. It's gonna be bad, because if you're already short-staffed and you feel like you can't take it, you just don't take your vacation. You work it, and you stay there. But when you are forced that you're gonna lose it, people are like, you know what, I'm gonna not sacrifice the time with my family. I'm gonna take it off, and you guys are SOL. You're gonna have to figure something out and get somebody to come in and pull the overtime. And that's unfortunate, because that can leave you in a double bind. If somebody else is out sick or something like that, that can really hurt.
So in your opinion, do you think?
I think it needs to be implemented back. That would be your first step. See if it trends back down. And if you break it out next year and do holiday and vacation in a separate line item, you can totally see if it's breaking down
Right.
at that point. Because then it's just a matter of adding the two lines together. Do they sum back to the total of the one from before where it was totaled together? And see if that's what's trending it down. If it doesn't work, then go back to the way it was now.
So with them combined, that's kind of misleading.
You have no idea where it's coming.
Yeah, we don't
Right.
know if it's 600,000 overtime,
Right.
You don't know that.
There's so many things can be hid,
Yeah.
if you want to, if you choose to. Is there not a minimum that ours that they can carry over?
There used to be. I don't know that they do that now.
I thought there was a minimum.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Karen, I have a question about that. So was that to where that got paid out at the end of every year, or they could just keep accumulating? There was no time frame on that? Or?
They paid out a certain amount at the end of the year, and they got to carry over a certain number at the end of the year. So, and if they went over that certain number that they could carry over, then we would pay it out.
So there was a cap on
That was a cap.
There's gotta be a
That
cap
was
on
a
it.
cap, that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking
That's
about.
what he's asking. So
You can't bank them and you take your last year off,
Yeah, you can't go that far out.
Right.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
I mean, as far as that goes, you can make it whatever you want.
We set this aside. I was thinking they had a cap now, but maybe they don't.
would we have to add, budget to
The,
account for
the commissioners have to sign you guys have to go in front of and do a public hearing like you did the last time, didn't you? Don't you?
Yeah, and that goes back that was back under Dave Brown and John Foltz. And they was some of them like $600. And we cut it down.
Maybe you cap what they
to-
bank, like, hey, you can only bank 1 week at a time,
Right.
like,
And that's reasonable. If you want to take a long vacation next year, 3 weeks, whatever it figures out to, 1 week is
maybe that's what you
reasonable.
guys want to cap it at. I mean, I think before it was what, you could bank up to 2 weeks?
Yeah.
80 hours.
I think you could bank up to 80 hours, if I remember.
Maybe that's a small way to
No.
help the
I mean, these are
employee
discussions
retention.
we need to have.
Okay.
I'm open for answers, but I just don't know how you're gonna get there, because you're gonna have staffing problems.
People's gonna get uncomfortable. Like I said, it's gotta change.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be your
In
issue.
line of your thought, a while ago, think about this. Can we not ask the department heads and let them, they already know. I mean, they know this is a problem, overtime's a problem. Can we not say, hey, guys, we want a 10% decrease next year in overtime. I don't care how you do it. You're a department head, you run that department, and if you've got a problem with overtime in the department, the council is telling you right now, whatever you do, 10%, 20%, we want a 10 or 20% reduction in that next year. Now, if you can't do it, maybe we need another department head.
Gerald, your trouble is, you can't solve the problem sitting here as the council, let alone try to get the department head to be able to do it. I'm not criticizing.
I'm not running the sheriff's department. The sheriff's running the department. He sees the problem. He needs to somehow give us an idea how that problem can be corrected.
And they're gonna come to you with the EMS and the sheriff department, and they need more personnel to fill in the.
You can put more personnel in for $600,000.
Okay, then give them permission to hire if they can find it. That'll be the next problem. And
But I don't-
EMS can't find the people to do the job to be legal.
They have no openings, do they? Does EMS have any opening?
It is fluid. It changes day to day. Honestly, day to day.
It's that bad. I mean, it's that bad.
Just to give an example, Brent tried to hire a jailer here a while back. He came in, filled out his paperwork, went to work, worked 4.5 hours, went to lunch, and didn't come back. Nobody could find him. Where's he at? What happened? Called and called and called, and 2 hours later, I can't do this job.
Kelly told you the same thing with dispatch.
Well, I disagree to some extent. There are people that I know who have applied for jobs out there that didn't even get a look at. Now, and I know they're qualified. So, I'm just saying, I disagree to some extent that you can't fill a position today. Is it going to be hard? Yes, it is. But you can fill a position. You might not, they might not meet all the criteria that you're looking for.
That's your problem with EMS, so.
You have to.
You have to
Some
have
of these
that
jobs, Gerald,
criteria.
they have to meet the criteria.
Because you have to have
Well,
certain
if that's the
staffing.
case, we need somewhere, whoever's setting the criteria needs to change that criteria. Otherwise, we're gonna have issues where we're not gonna be able to fill any position because somebody who's not even in Washington County is setting guidelines that we can't meet.
That
And
gets
that's
you in
the
trouble.
world we're
You say
living in.
Lower your standards to find people, that gets you in lawsuits and everything.
You gotta have proper people.
Which way you want to pay, lawsuits, or you want to pay the other way?
I'm done. Thank you.
I just feel like it's being allowed and it shouldn't be, and we gotta stop it.
So what do you want to do? I mean, we're here.
I don't care, EMS, I don't care if we sub it out and just hire a whole outside contractor. I don't care if we hire more people. This rocket ship of growth on overtime,
Gotta stop.
yeah,
So you talking privatizing the service again? Is that what you're?
I'd be fine with that, if it's more feasible.
Nobody wants it.
You can't find anybody that'll do it though, because we've been down this rabbit hole.
Your private companies are in it to make money.
Yeah, they wanna
And
make
Medicare
money.
caps out how much they'll pay you on a run, which lowers your amount of income. Phil and I know this very well. And it lowers the income that you make on those runs. And every year, Medicare comes in and they take a little bit more of a slice of that pie. And every year, you make a little bit less money on a little run for an elderly person. And let's face it,
But your
the
expenses are
majority
going
of
up.
your cases are elderly people runs that are on Medicare or Medicaid. And when the federal government's stepping in here with their handout, trying to take a little bit more of that piece of that pie, it's less money for you. And we, as a county and private services, that's why they all go belly up, because they can't make any money doing it, because Medicare's there, ready to take their piece of the pie. As crazy as that sounds, that is exactly it. Because they keep cutting that money that comes in from Medicare and Medicaid every single time. And the insurance companies are just as bad now.
Yep, she's spot on with that. And
They discount that bill down to where you're not allowed to charge over a certain amount of money. If you go over that rate, insurance comes in, they discount it down. This is all we're willing to pay. And then if that person can't afford to pay it either, then you're stuck, like Phil said, not getting your bill paid.
That's fine, I'm just saying, private industry generally runs much more efficient than government-ran industry, okay?
They
So
do
I don't know
until
the
it
last
becomes a
time,
U.S. service and they go out of business.
that's
every
fine, I don't know the
3
last time we shopped it out. Has it been shopped out recently? Pricing on ambulance service, have we even tried to acquire a price on it? I'm not saying it's not gonna still take a stipend, but if we can save $250,000, that's good for the taxpayers and still get the services. I don't care how we do it, it just, the cost has to be managed.
My biggest fear here is, when we first took it over from Knox County, we had to redo some of the ambulances. We paid $75,000 for that one ambulance. The last ambulance we bought, I think we paid $174,000 or $175,000. We used to put some money back to redo because you know they're gonna do, or wreck, or what have you. And the insurance company did buy 2 ambulances over a period of time we've had it. But today, I don't think we're setting anything back, and you're gonna be coming due for another ambulance. And at the price they're going, where's that money gonna come from? Now, I agree with what you're saying on the overtime, yes. And maybe we need to hire an efficiency expert to figure out what we can't figure out. But we are looking at labor problems nationwide, and we've got restrictions. None of us here could go up there and apply for a job and get it.
I'm not arguing, I'm just saying, we just can't just close our eyes and just keep doing what we're doing.
That's what I'm saying, we just need.
I don't care if we get prices from outside, if we bring them in, we bring a scheduling expert in, I don't care how we do it, but we gotta be looking at options. That's my point.
We have to try.
We gotta try something. Just sitting there saying, I can't do it. Well, we might as well just go home, sign the budget and call it good. I mean, that's what we got elected for, was to try.
And you're right.
I'm not grandstanding, I'm just saying that's,
No, you're
I
right.
don't wanna be here. I'd rather be at home on the farm working than being here.
Trust me, I would too.
So,
If you make one small decision like this, you can cut overtime down and you can help employee retention, I think. Even if it's 1, 2, 3, 4 employees say, hey, I like that, I wanna stay here, you know?
right.
There's more that people look at than just money.
If it's the vacation buyback, that's fine with me. I don't care what it is, that's an idea at least. It's the only one
I feel like
on the table right now.
it's a small start.
So how you want to do this? You want to just send a letter to every department head asking them to cut their overtime budget by 20%, see what happens?
You basically only got 3. Highway department's only $40,000. That, to me, like I said, is required. Snowstorms, whatever. It's sheriff, 911, EMS. That's your 3 overtimes that have ballooned. And I think, yes, they need to come in, we need to have an expert come in, sit down with them, evaluate it. I don't care if we spend $50,000 on it and cut back $100,000, you've still saved $50,000.
I think that would be a good start, but listening to Karen, she said, I hate to say I told you so let's start with that. That's another small step. So that's
I mean, I think if you
steps.
want to ask department heads how to cut their overtime, send out a little survey and say, hey, if we brought this back, how do you think this would help you?
Good idea.
Is this an issue that you're having right now? I mean, it doesn't, I'll be happy to send them an email and say, here, 5 questions. If we were to do this, this, and this, what do you think this would do to your bottom line? If we brought back the following thing, we're gonna offer the buyback of your vacation time that you don't use so you don't lose it. Would that lower your overtime? If so, by how much percentage, you know? How often do you see an issue with vacation stepping in the way? You know, how often do you see holidays stepping in the way? How often do you feel that adding this back would offer another incentive to new employees potentially coming down the road? Like all those different things, and then say, do you like the way it's going right now? Are you okay with that? You know, I mean, I think it's a legitimate email to go out to each department and say, hey, what are your thoughts on this?
And that's a good way for them to engage their employees.
Yeah, I agree. That's a very good idea.
And then you're figuring out, I mean, they can go out, they can engage with the employee and see, is that a benefit they want back? Is that something they don't want? And then if it comes back with an overwhelming yes, then we try it. I mean, what have we got to lose at this point, you know? If it brings it down, and it's a step, like Andrew said, in the right direction, and Todd said, it's in the right direction. But I do think breaking it out would be easier. I mean, even if it means that next year we look at it and we're like, oh, we got to add these 2 lines together to get back to the total of what it was listed in 25. I set numbers all day. I can sit and add them. I mean, it ain't a big deal to me. But I feel like it needs to be addressed again, and I think it would help with retention too, personally, but I'm happy to send out an email. I don't care. I'll let him approve it before.
Can I ask for you to chair maybe a committee to put together a survey to send out to the department heads and their employees about how we can cut this, or whether that would work, buying back the
It has to
time.
start there.
And then that's a start, and then maybe we'll get some answers out of that. In the meantime,
Give them a deadline
you
to,
can contact
to
this
let us
guy
know.
from Spencer, find out how their ambulance service, whether they're, you know, have their own ambulance service or whether they're, you know, parting it out. We need to figure out, you know, what they're doing and who's running their ambulance service.
Are they using IU Health?
I don't know.
There's a couple of counties that are using private services, but they offer a part-time staff to supplement it as part of their contract.
That's,
And even if
I've
it still
heard of
costs a
that
stipend to make it sustainable, it could still be considerably cheaper.
They're not around here, but I know they're doing that in like Tennessee and Mississippi and stuff in like those rural areas. They're having like contracted companies come in, and then some of the counties, as part of their contract, all they do is offer the part-time people.
well, Floyd counties went to Amera.
Yeah, they're not with, New
Yeah.
Chapel anymore.
And we know, you know, we know the problems that they had, you know, and we actually even talked to New Chapel at one point, back a few years ago. Yeah, but, I mean, you know, we did, we looked at different options, you know, and thankfully we didn't get involved in that mess, but that's a start, and I think, you know, if some of you are willing to work on that.
And I mean, you are able to remount the box on the back of the
Yes.
ambulance too.
And we know they did give us an update on that here. The ambulances we have currently, the chassis are good. We can remount the boxes without having to buy a whole nother ambulance twice.
We're good till
Yeah, you can do.
2030.
2030, I think we're good.
That's if your engine holds out.
Yeah, which we've had a little better luck with the gasoline.
Gasoline engine's working great.
Yeah, it's working way better than the diesels we had in the past, and that's kind of been the trend on
I was
those.
gonna say, you had 2 coming on 3 when I stepped off the board.
The biggest thing is the box itself, but most of your metropolitan, you're going to vans, the transit's
But
tight
that
deal.
was the problem when I stepped
Who's on?
on, is they were still using old ambulances, and
Yeah.
they didn't have any remounts left, and when you guys got it back from Knox County, they had racked up all the mileage on them, and you had no good ambulance.
If it just goes up.
Right.
Oh, I
You have
100%
to-
agree
you
with
have
what
to
you're
start
saying.
it
Gotta get it going.
back down at some point.
One thing too, like you said, maybe we need to have them, or maybe we need to change that grouping, because if you look at the EMS budget, from 22 and 23, if you just look at the overtime line, you know, it shows $8,000, but you gotta look at part-time and holiday pay. At that time, we're booked out in different line items, so if you add the 3 line items together, it was still 193,000. You know, so it's a little deceiving when you look at that and see it at 8,000, and then all of a sudden in 24 it went to 162, but it was because they lumped those 3 together. So you were still paying out 193,000 in 22 and 23.
I think we're overlooking too that Tony and Mike proposed a floating person to eliminate some overtime. They did propose that.
They
in
did
this
talk
budget.
about that.
So that would go back towards what you're saying, so they are taking preliminary precaution on that if you all was to prove that extra employee
Right.
for 'em. So that would overall bring their costs down some too, so. And going back at what you're saying needs to be done, so I think that just got overlooked and nobody remembered. That just hit me like a brick a minute ago.
Well, the problem, there again, it'd be a staffing issue on the floater.
Right, but they're willing to try, I guess what
Right.
I'm saying, to address your issue.
If you have to have a paramedic as a floater, like he gave us a figure there, it was 93,739 for a paramedic. Now, if it was an EMT, you could fill the floater position at 74,091, but you still have to have a paramedic in the ambulance
Right.
too. So
He did say he would prefer a paramedic, but
hiring one would be the problem.
EMT would.
I just didn't want nobody pointing the finger at them when they are trying to address their issues.
Yeah, I think
over there.
they've looked at it
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, I'm just saying, it just hit me that, whoop.
Yeah, it's not a personal attack.
Right, oh, I
No,
know.
and the only other thing too is when they mentioned the paramedic versus EMT, you have to think about you're advertised as an advanced life support service, which is an ALS service, which means you have to have a paramedic on the truck. So it's usually one paramedic, one basic. If you do that floater position, and let's say the other person on that truck is another
EMT, you can't.
and it's another EMT,
Yep.
then you're going out on a run as a BLS, which is basic life support, which means you're very, very, very limited on what you can and cannot do to touch that
billing,
patient on that truck.
yep.
And that could pose an issue.
Well, it depends on who you got.
Right.
And that comes back
If
to
you
your
got an
staffing.
advanced EMT on there.
At one
that's
time, we was
an issue.
overcrowded with EMTs, or paramedics. We had too many paramedics.
Paramedic had it for a
Paramedics
while.
were running.
That's a good problem to have.
But one thing we do have to figure, and I took one, the director itself. Since 17, it was making 48,456. And then in 26, we're looking at 74,746. You got a $26,000 raise that's coming against you. Now, that's just a small one. And there's other ones, and I realize, but that number of overtime that you're talking about, as it's went up, inflation's killing us, along with the overtime pay.
Well, and like I said earlier, part of your growth in your overtime is the fact that we've been consistently giving raises. So
Right.
you're going to have an overtime that's calculated at an hourly rate.
And that's gonna go against you.
In a year before. So that has to be taken into consideration too. So whatever our percentage of increase was each year that we gave, you're going to have that same percentage applied to your overtime too. So that's unavoidable.
I think you've got the best idea, is go to department heads and ask them, like you said, if they can reduce. But they're not gonna have an easy answer for you.
I say that's great, but I think, like what Bubba was saying, having Karen that works on that, have Todd work on that, I think that's some good first steps, in my opinion.
Who would want to work with Karen on that, on that committee? Will you work with her on that? Andrew, would you?
Yeah.
Okay. So if the three of you will work on that, then we'll get Todd to find out from his buddy there what they're doing. And maybe we can compile that information. Maybe that'll help us get a direction to head, because at this point, it's like Todd said, we've looked at this and looked at it with the EMS especially.
For years.
And it's just something that, we don't know what to do to fix it. So maybe that's a step in the right direction. And I appreciate everybody, looking at it and bringing that up, because Todd's right. You can either avoid it or you can hit it head on, and we need to hit it because it is killing us. No doubt.
Well, and like I said, when you lump all these positions together, so like they're saying you can hire an EMT for $74,000, but our line item is $183,000. Is that 2 people? Is that 3 people? I don't have any idea. I don't know how much they're making.
That's 3.
That's 3 on the EMT, probably.
So that's 61,000. Plus benefits, you'd probably be 74.
Well, and there's built-in overtime in there because of the shifts, so.
I hate to say this, but this is just the truth. Here's another thing you're fighting. Public safety, being hired by a medical service, an ambulance service. These people, they know how to maximize their income. They are aware that there's a shortage. And it's just human nature. They're going to take advantage of it. They're going to go to the place that pays the most, and they're also going to go to the place that will give them the most overtime. So, back to the employee problem. If you, and this is the problem we have, if you cut their overtime, this is exactly what's going to happen. They won't want to work in Washington County because they're going to say, why would I want to work for Washington County? They won't give me any overtime. I am an EMT. I have a license. I can go wherever I want and work at a place that will pay me all the overtime I want. Not saying I agree with it, but that is the nature of the beast. So, then that hurts you. You're burning both ends of the candle. Then you say, well, I need to hire some people. I need 3 people. Can't find them. You know, you can find them. They'll come and interview. How much overtime am I going to get a week? 0? Well, I'm not going to work here. I want to work a job where I can get paid all the overtime I can get. Because it basically increases their annual income 40%. Because 1/3 of what they're working is overtime. And they're happy.
And I think a lot of them are happy too because they have that set schedule. They know
so
a year out in advance, I'm going to have that holiday off.
I'm just trying to explain to you what reality is. That this is what we're up against.
I know, and it's a necessary service. I'm not saying that.
I know.
I'm just saying that.
And you'll be hard pressed to find any police officer or paramedic or EMT or even 911 dispatcher who's like, try and come and do my stressful job and save someone's life or put your life on the line.
But that doesn't mean
they justify their overtime with that.
That doesn't mean we
Rightfully
can't.
so.
We can't try.
We can try. And I think those things and doing that would be a step in the right direction.
Yep.
But that was their calling in life. They're the ones that chose that profession. I didn't choose it. You didn't choose it. They chose it.
Yeah, but they also
I appreciate
have
what they
the
do.
system work to where they can work here 2 days a week, 48 hours, skip a day, get to sleep, and go to Sellersburg or someplace else and pick up the same pay and they're double their income.
Right.
But at the same token, you don't have enough personnel you can draw from.
It's tough. It's tough.
Sheriff's Department's the same way. They can go from here, pick up a second job if you do that, and go to Sellersburg and make twice the money down there that we can pay them up here. I mean, we're fighting a problem.
Oh, I know.
But like you said, you gotta try something. And your
I mean,
department
and
heads,
that's their argument, and rightfully so. I mean, I would not want their job. I wouldn't want to have somebody else's life in my hands and be responsible for that, you know?
do.
I mean, they deserve, in my opinion, they deserve all the overtime they want, because if you're gonna save somebody I love, then more power to you.
But the budget has went up 276% in 10 years.
Yep.
So if you multiply today's number, in 10 years, you take it times 276%, you don't want to know what that number is.
No, I don't, but I ain't gonna be here.
I'm just saying, that's the trend we're on. That's the reason I'm saying it has to stop, because it's out of control.
Yep, we'll blame it on COVID.
That was part of it.
It is.
It definitely was. That was a downfall we
So
started.
you got a plan, right?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Those 3 are gonna work on that, and get that out to the department heads. Todd's gonna contact the guy from Spencer. We'll see what they've got and see what we can find out, and, then we'll set some time to get back together and talk about it.
And it's not just EMS.
No,
It's 911, and it's sheriff's.
All three.
It's all 3 of them.
Well, I'm not gonna alienate just those 3 departments. I'm gonna add
Who else
this
has
department,
the highway
you know,
department?
I mean,
Nobody else has overtime.
so,
Well, but also the consistency of it for the people with the vacation time buyout at the end of the year, that would be everything.
Oh, yeah, that would be everybody.
Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna limit the survey to just those two
No, no,
departments, you know what
I
I mean?
think-
Like, I don't think
no.
that's very fair.
No, I didn't
to-
mean that.
I
Yeah.
think you should, yeah, send it to everybody as far as that goes.
Yes.
Because that could help.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, yeah, we
Sorry,
can,
I
we
was
can talk to, you know, through the ambulance board, we can talk to Mike and Tony, see if they have any ideas. I mean, they've been doing this a long time. Not saying they got all the answers, but, because obviously they don't. But, you know, I do know from listening to them that, you know, staffing is their biggest issue, keeping people, it's a revolving door. Same way with Brent, and, you know, we all know what we went through with the sheriff's department, you know, and I, you know, told Brent at that time, I said, I don't think throwing money at it's gonna fix your problem. And, you know, it didn't fix everything. Not saying what we did wasn't right, because it was. We got them back to the level where we're competitive, but they're still having problems hiring people. And I think that's a big part of it. So we'll start working on that, okay? Thank you guys for that input. That helps, for sure. Michelle? Are you with us? Where do we go from here, honey? What do you want?
I told you there's only two things, salaries and deciding exactly how much you want to allot for a corner vehicle. That's the only two things I left.
We're working.
And I guess the corner vehicle you technically have until we adopt the budget.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Give us
wait
some time
till
on
they
that.
come back with some
Yeah,
numbers.
we've got
We
some
get an update
feelers
on this
out,
and- Yeah,
so hopefully we'll get some quotes or,
so we're
you
at
know,
the,
stuff back
So
on
it's
that.
you all deciding how you want to do.
Well, I will say this, before we go into that, I am concerned with the SB one. You know, I personally put a lot of faith in Darren Bates and what he says, and, you know, he's never steered us wrong before, and from what I took out of what he said the other day was, you know, nobody really knows, so, you know, I kind of took from him that we need to watch what we do now, because that's definitely going to affect us down the road. So, you know, I think we need to be frugal with our money here, just because of the unknowns coming down the pike. So that's my 2 cents on what we do for this budget. As far
And
as,
I agree with that, because when we went to Madison, it's the thing of, we gotta be prepared, and the unknowns, there's too many unknowns, but that doesn't mean that we can kick the can down the road. Right. That's just my view.
It's a good view to have,
Thank you, Bill.
especially this year.
I appreciate it, Bill.
anybody else got any ideas on what percentages, you would like to see? I mean, Michelle can run those numbers for us. She's always been able to do that for us in the past, so.
In my opinion, 3 to 4% is kind of what I had in mind with the increase in insurance costs and inflation
Yep.
and SB one. I mean, it's not what we'd all like to give, but I think it's something, and I don't know.
I personally think we'll look at another option than a blanket raise. Instead of doing the same percent across the board.
Look at each individual department.
Who's gonna make that decision?
I think the problem with that is that you give the perception that one department is more important than the other. I mean, that's just a gray area to me. And then-
I mean, there's a lot of department heads, though, that feel like the blankets are unfair, so there's that too.
Why do they feel that?
Those are the same department heads that don't want to give raises to Sally, but yet Janie over here, she doesn't get a raise. They don't want to be the bad guy, and I don't blame them. They want somebody else to be the bad guy. So we have talked about this. Gerald, you've heard it all before.
Been down that road.
Well, I'm thinking what Andrew means is maybe more like you're looking at the book that we get that shows, here's what other offices in this position are making. Where do we rank in the counties next to us? Are those salaries lower? Do we just raise those a little bit higher and everybody else gets, this one gets 3 or this one gets, I think that's what you're reading more, right? Like to get them more in line, so.
Well, I think,
No.
several years ago, they used to do a small percentage and then pick out, 4 or 5 departments, do a little bit bigger. The next year, you switch that.
To get them in line with the surrounding counties so that you're maintaining retention. I think that's what you're meaning, right?
Yeah, we have in the past, we've offered stipends to areas that we felt were not efficiently, waged to earn. We've offered stipends in the past, and that's created issues as well with everybody else. Unfortunately, when you're dealing with a government entity, and how many employees we have? 200?
That's a lot full-time though.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a large number of employees. Those ideas are good ideas if you have a small number of employees, but you just can't, it's just so difficult to operate a government entity like a small business. It just doesn't, those two things just don't work together. So I'm for a 3 or 4% raise, just like Todd. It answers it solves a lot of issues. Sure, there are probably some inequities out there, but think about this. Those inequities were there when that worker decided to work for the county. In his own mind. But he decided to go ahead and work for the county. So my point is, once you make a commitment to do that, and then 6 months down the road, you think, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. We can't solve all those problems. That's not what
How many county employees have you talked to that say they like the way we're doing it?
They like what?
That they like the way that we do it?
Well,
None of them.
probably none of them, I guess, I suppose.
I think the thing that, I understand what you're saying about that, but, we sat here and listened to how many people, and I apologize for this, but how many people came in here and said something about the auditor's office and their raise last year. So if we do something that, okay, we need to get these departments up to the other counties.
That's what
First of all, I could probably find, if I worked hard enough, I could find a group that says this is where we need to be relationship. But my point to that is, so then we do that, and then next year we got people coming in saying, well, you gave so-and-so more, so they're in the seat that the auditor's office was, so there's always going to be someone.
You're not gonna
who's
make
not
everybody
thinking-
happy, but as long as you make the majority happy, I think you're.
Yeah, a percentage raise, you've got the higher ups getting even higher and the lower scale people getting farther behind, and that's where the complaint is here. I went to probably, I don't know how many departments there is over the last several months, and that's where the issues is.
Can we,
I've got out and talked to them,
It's like
and
we've been
Andrew has
kicking this
too.
can down the
I went
road
to a
and
lot
we
of
haven't
departments.
done it,
I'm not
anything about
saying
it.
what your point and your conversation with them is not valid. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm just saying, if we do a blanket this, there's gonna be these people upset, and if we do this, there's gonna be these people
But by
upset.
giving the
And
percentage
I
raise,
think
we're
there's
kicking
a
the
valid
can again.
point for both ways. I'm just saying that if we decide to do this, we're gonna get this feedback, and then if we decide to do this, either way, we're gonna get.
It's been my
feedback.
experience, if you're open with them and you explain why you did it, most department heads are kind of understanding, but maybe that was just with me, but,
Well, if you
Can we-
look,
because we did it a few times, I mean, since I've been on the council,
Try to catch a few up.
catch a few up, you know?
Okay, so what department would you pick that gets,
Well,
more than
Let me,
the next?
let me say something. Could we look at the longevity and, go 0 to 5, 2%, 5 to 10, 5%, 65, we're at 60 now, and maybe that'll work, I don't know. I just throwing that out there.
Base the percentage of raise off of a person's longevity with the county.
I don't disagree, that should count for something.
Yeah, I think it should,
That's why we got longevity.
yeah.
Well, I mean, the longer you've been here, the more longevity.
That messes with your line items going forward. You'll be jumping all over the, because that person retires, you've built this number up to this, you hire a new person in, do we take it back down to this number? Those department heads aren't gonna do that. It's been built up to 50,000 because that person was here for 25 years.
Yeah.
Then when we start over again with the next person, how are we gonna reset? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not saying we shouldn't reward, but I'm like, Gerald, that should be done through longevity on that line item, not through the salary side of it. Does that make sense? Just because when that person retires, it's gonna build that line item up so high that the next person comes in, right off the street, and they're gonna start at this high level that the person that just retired was at.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If 0 to 1 year to 5 years, you get this
You're saying
60%.
take the new person back
And
down
then-
to a different rate, I think is what he's saying.
10,
Yeah, but you'd have to reset that
5,
line.
10.
We'd have to go through each time and reset that line item. Anytime
Yeah,
anybody retires.
Yeah, every year you're gonna have to redo the pay classifications.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare. Number.
That's good for trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the nightmare, Gerald.
So do you guys have a suggestion? I mean, a certain department that you feel has
Yeah, which department?
got a shortfall? I'm just asking. I'm open to ideas, so.
I mean, it's not just a one decision, it's a group decision.
Oh, I know.
You just go through department by department and, I think you could, like I said, I mean, there was a lot of people that used to like that. I don't know that I talked to, Said, everybody, these departments are getting this and you pick a group out and they get this, the next year you pick another out and everybody's getting something, but some are catching up a little bit more.
I mean, we
It
had a
doesn't
few
put
that
such a
came
big
in and
burden
showed
on
us in their stuff that they dropped off with their budget or they brought in with their budget, that showed where they ranked compared to other surrounding counties.
Yeah, but on some of
Since they
those-
did the work on those, I think that would be a good place to start.
Some of those are paid for by groups that are intentionally trying to make
Right. When you're
an
comparing to
argument
Lake,
for a county
Marion.
so they can go to their county and say, we deserve more. There are good groups out there that are doing that. Just back to, I do like problems I have when it comes to doing something for this group this year, this group next year. I have talked to department heads and I've gotten feedback from them and talked about raises, and there is not a single department head in this county that does not believe that when it comes to raises, they have the best department and they deserve the most. And that's good that we have department heads that fight for their people and want to do that. You should, absolutely. It becomes gray area that the council make up this year and who we decide is at the top of the list this year, and then it may have different people next year, and then a different group decides. It's just too subjective. And I think that when you start introducing those gray areas, especially with pay, and it is, you're right, Karen, transparency this is what we need to do. But there also has to be the transparency that there is a standard that we are holding ourselves accountable to for consistency and fairness and honesty in how we do pay increases. That's just my opinion on that.
Well, a few years back, we gave the sheriff's department a raise to compensate for it. And the highway department, we didn't. And then the EMS wasn't even included at that point. And all we done is PO'd a lot of people because we were saying this group deserves more and their group didn't deserve more. So watch what you do when you do the way you're doing, because you are going to insult a lot of people.
Now, see, I remember it differently when we picked departments.
I didn't, because I heard it from, we give the sheriff's raise to
But-
compensate for it.
Honestly, I'm not wanting to sit here till 4 o'clock today over this, so
I agree.
why don't you all pick a percentage for a blanket raise? And then as a second option, go through your budgets right now, like you said. I'll figure it those two ways. Your way and the blanket raise way.
Well, wasn't they 6 to 10% that they asked for all of them?
It varied from 2 was lowest, I think, and 22 was the highest.
Yeah.
Well, and actually, Judge Houchin didn't ask for any raise, so it was from 0
Oh,
to
yeah,
22%.
he does that every year, yeah, he does.
And Michelle, thank you. I appreciate you
Putting that out there, that option, but I think that still does not, we need to make a decision how we want to handle the raises and move accordingly. I mean, that's my opinion.
I'm thinking 4 to 5%.
Well, and I don't think it's fair. I mean, I know Judge Houchin didn't ask for it, but Judge Medlock came in and asked for 10%.
Yeah,
So,
you know,
why is it fair for one set of reporters to get a 10% raise, go to 48,000, the others stay at 42?
yeah.
So,
So we've got people asking for 24%, 23%.
right.
You know?
It's
Yeah.
just a difference in the attitude toward getting what they want.
And and please, I want you guys to understand, I want our people to get what they deserve. I'm not saying one department is less deserving than the other. I'm just saying we need to have consistency and fairness, and it's too subjective just to pick and choose. Well, maybe I like Sally Sue better than Joey over here or something like that. I just think, I know Preston said his number, Todd said his number, and Gerald said, I'm personally comfortable 3 to 4%. That's just my take on that. And then that way we're consistent,
And we got
in my opinion.
We have to keep in, I know there's gonna be people, there's probably gonna be people that are not happy with the 3 or 4% raise. We can't make everybody happy. But my point again, goes back to the point when you sign on to work for Washington County, you know how much money you have signed on for. So it shouldn't be a heartbreak when you don't get a whole lot more money, because you know what you're committed for.
Right.
So,
And like I said, the insurance cost is gonna go up for all the employees. I wanna take care of everybody somewhat, just because of that insurance cost raising. It's gonna be a reduction in their pay if we don't do something for them. That's the reason, and I don't care if we do 2% across the board and we pick some individuals. I feel like everybody should get something because that insurance cost is gonna go up. I think we should bear some of that expense.
Before, Michelle, was there like a rotation? You know, like you just take all the departments, divide them up, and
It was like, try to keep it as easy as.
then basically everybody would know what cycle.
Yeah, we tried to keep it as easy as we could then, and I'd have to go back and look at the minutes just to be exactly sure, but, one year it was like EMS, sheriff, and highway. The next year, it was like your court system,
Clerical.
Clerical, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
clerk, prosecutor, all them. And then the next year, it was like,
Yeah, I don't
The-
see anything unfair about that. I really don't. I mean, and I think basing it off of that book that we get that shows the surrounding counties that are comparable to us, and you base their pays off of what we're at, where do we rank? If we're in the bottom two, I don't like for us to be that way, because to me, that makes it harder to have valuable and retain employees, because they could easily go to a neighboring county and get paid more, and then we're losing out on a valuable employee with experience. Their income tax goes to that county at the end of the year from somebody who works at that every year. I mean, like, there's all these multitude of reasons that it's leaving our county. And I think that I agree with Andrew. I'm not saying, oh, we go in based on what they sold us. Well, they said they need a 10% raise, we're going to give them that. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, let's not make that position, let's not continue to kick it down the road where they're the bottom two in the surrounding counties. Like,
Sure.
I love the blanket raise idea to a degree, but I feel like Michelle's right. Let's maybe look at what they used to do and maybe handle it in that way.
And what I was meaning by unfair, I
Well,
would
but we
assume
got
you were
budget.
talking about.
I'm not meaning
What
to
Going
say
forward,
What,
can we look?
go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna, can we quickly look through and see which ones are in the bottom and analyze it from that aspect?
Bubba's got one of the books, doesn't he?
yeah, before we start comparing ourselves to Clark, Floyd,
You gotta
Scott,
keep in mind the
There's a
size
tax
too.
base on
And
there.
the tax, do not,
It does not work.
I mean, just because they're paying somebody $60,000 down there does not mean
Oh, no.
we can.
It does not work.
Yeah.
So,
We need to look at population size.
yes, in this little book, that's what you need to look at, where the counties were grouped with as far as population size.
Most
Sorry, I
private
should've
businesses
clarified.
don't give raises like percentages. They'll give you a 50-cent raise or a dollar raise or something. And that way you don't get that big spread as you move along. Because when you do percentages, then these people get left behind over 4 or 5 years. You put a bigger gap between them, and I mean, that's telling them that they ain't worth what this person is, so.
Not too many businesses
Well-
out there that offer 4, 5, or 6%
Smaller
raise every year.
you're right,
They're
Tony,
just not-
smaller businesses can do that, but there's businesses that just absolutely cannot,
Well, I mean,
you know.
it's the same as, I mean,
Yeah,
think about it.
And what I was saying is fair is, whoever is not chosen in the group, it just gives gray area to where they're gonna say it's not fair. Why were we not chosen? That was my point, to bring that up, and why I would be comfortable with a flat. That was my thought process.
Well, I think,
Because like I said, I've talked to many department heads, and they would, every single one would say, we should be at the top of the list, and that's good. That's good that they're fighting for their people. However, the fairness I was talking about was that, just that perception of, why were we not chosen? We're
Well,
always gonna have that. We're always gonna have that.
like you're saying, if we give 5% across the board, then everybody is happy. But if you go down and you give 3, well, why didn't I get that 5? You know, or 6 or 7 or,
It's kind of a catch-22, but,
yeah.
all right, it's 10:20. Let's take a 10-minute break. Let everybody clear your minds a little bit, and we'll come back at 10:30. And,
Just stream, we'll stay on.
yeah, it stays live, so anything you can say.
You don't care.
So we'll come back at 10:30. I'll start looking through these. So.
Give it to me, I'll put it on.
Is your neck better?
Still a little tight. for another word, start doing this.
Thank you. It was a birthday gift.
You hang in there like a hair in a biscuit, don't you, Rhonda?
Well, I mean, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm mean about it. But I have a lot of, it's in me. There we go. I guess that's what I was trying to say. I was just thinking, Mark Clark used to always make the coffee. Right? And he would put in like, just a little bit of coffee and just say coffee over top of it. It's like, a teaspoon. And I'm like, what are you doing? What kind of animal are you? And he's like, no, that's the right amount. And I said, no. Argued with a lawyer over that. And it's just,
You don't like Starbucks coffee?
I don't, because I don't like spending money on that.
I don't either.
If I can't say it.
I can't stand their coffee. I ain't man enough to drink their coffee.
There have been times when I've noticed a real difference in the quality of coffee, but rarely does it matter.
I tell you, the best coffee around, as far as I'm concerned, is Dunkin' Donuts, but I can't afford it.
Well.
McDonald's got good coffee. I'll give them that. That's the only thing I'll give them. They got good coffee.
I would drink some kind of iced coffee or something. Looks like chocolate milk.
Yeah, I'm pretty plain about that kind of stuff. I'm not really.
McDonald's cake, if you go through drive-out, check it if you order it, because you get it top of the hill.
Let's see the figures first.
And I drink sugar in mine.
Mm-hmm.
They can't tell the difference between sugar and cream.
Well, that's how they do it. That's how they do it. Oh, she's fire.
Oh. Do what? Keep moving?
That's the key. That's why. Good.
Yeah, she's doing good.
Good, good.
Got cancer free. Went back to check up the other day. Everything's good on that side.
That's wonderful.
Good Lord's
He
protecting
answers
us.
some prayers, don't he? Mm-hmm.
It's bad about Sandy Martin's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a heartbreak. Seen Dennis for a while.
He's slowing down. He's really slowing down, yeah. He does okay. He's
Rick,
somewhat
come on,
moving. He's 86.
How old are you?
80. He's 85. Yes. Yep.
I'll tell you what, that man.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't that nervous enough to do what he does.
Oh, yeah, mine. County email or my email?
This was the first one in my family.
Volunteered to work
in 58.
because you know so much.
Chickens for Cobble's Hatchery. And
Come to the board meeting.
sister married Ron Terrell. Come up another couple years later. In 64. No,
I think your historical numbers. 7087.
Hey, how are you? Is it cold up there? Yeah. I think so, but I don't know what the temperature is outside. I'm in a budget meeting. Yeah. So are you just having fun? Oh, okay. Well, good.
How are you?
I'm feeling pretty good. I had a good night, and, good morning, and we went to the dance last night, and, I done a couple of slow ones, but, I didn't even move my feet. So,
That's where I'm going.
I don't know what we're gonna do tonight. So, okay, well, thanks for calling, and have fun. I love you. Bye. That's my granddaughter. She went to that big tractor show in Illinois, where they use the old machines to combine, and it's really interesting. They get corn pickers.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I could pull a pink shirt off as good as Bubba's.
Huh.
Sitting here admiring that.
He
A
looks
lot of
good.
pink.
He looks good, don't he? I almost wore my pink one today. Tony's almost pink.
No, that's red.
That's orange.
That's red.
It's orange.
Bubba's is colorblind.
Well, you are. This is red.
Yeah, we were right at that. Well, it's a different shade. We didn't have it. Yours is more burgundy.
Orange.
We gonna let Rhonda settle this?
No.
What'd you say, Tony?
What color's my shirt?
Orange.
You need to be a voice.
It's red.
Thank you.
It's not as red as yours. Yours is brick red.
Whose?
Preston's?
Preston's is red also.
But yeah, yours has an orange tinge to it. An orange red, but yeah, it's red. I would say it's red.
So, I keep saying my glasses are bad.
Well, you might have a cataract.
I call it orange.
I'm calling it red.
Orange. Burnt orange.
Can we all agree though that Bubba's is pink?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's definitely pink.
Pepto.
It's a real man wear pink now.
He matches
Right.
Michelle.
Pink or salmon?
No, that's pink.
That's pink. What's yours? Magenta?
Oh,
It's magenta.
Magenta. Can you spell that?
Nope. Especially not on camera.
You get down there, run that truck, and you have to make a count.
And
Gives you a bunch of different codes.
counties, the
Real men,
populations, and then what each
Oh, okay,
position.
so we can find
Real men wear
Right.
our counties, which would be like 30.
I've got a pink shirt, but I don't know what she done with it. I just tore
Next
it up.
one.
I'm going through and ranking all of them
Come on, those books.
in our,
Oh, okay.
Do you have another copy of that book?
No,
This is
they've
the only-
gotten stingy in the past.
yeah, they've only given us like 2 or 3.
Because they were wanting to see.
Just make sure I get it back after the meeting, please.
Here, Todd got one.
The
too.
commissioner?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've got everything.
I think you can
Got
contact
it all.
the AIC and purchase a book,
Excuse me.
but they used to send copies for everybody, and now they're only sending 3 or 4 copies at most.
Yeah, the AIC will let you.
Well, they know how to do cutbacks, don't they?
Yeah, we need to learn from that, don't we?
They break it out by population, which is good.
Yep.
Right, you're comparing apples to apples.
You see, in ambulance too, though, you got your land mass and where are so big, that seems nuts.
They break this up population,
Yeah,
But
they
down
just
there where
break
I
up
do,
our
don't,
population. They don't-
I think I'd rather Crawford County or Harrison or somebody come than Washington, because they're gonna get there.
No, I know. I'm in the same neighborhood, remember?
Yeah, well, you're closer to Salem though.
A little bit, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
The one that's gonna kill you.
And I'm not
right there,
saying
because that's
population's the
gonna
only
grow.
factor,
Yeah.
because you gotta look at
It's going up.
who your neighbors
And
are.
the price is higher.
Who's gonna take off the
And
building.
then your phone.
Most people aren't gonna move to Ripley County, you know, because that's in the same
This one right
population
here
as us.
concerns me.
But there's gotta
Those
be.
juveniles cost money.
I think Stephanie did break hers down to population.
She did, yeah.
Sorry.
So before we get started on the second portion, on department by department, was there a consensus on what percentage, if you did a blanket?
So, how hard is it for you to run reports on if we did 2% blanket and then pick some departments? If we went all the way up to, run 2, 3, 4, 5? I didn't know if you can do this on the computer or not.
No, I do this manually.
Oh, no, sorry.
She's,
I was
Way to
thinking
go,
the
Todd.
computer,
No.
she just quit.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to see
She
it.
I'm
wants
looking at
10%
4%.
right now.
I'm looking at 4%.
I'd like to see it forward.
I'll say 4 or 5.
So that's pretty much 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's gonna be easy math, what's
Yeah.
gonna raise it, and you can figure a 2 off of it, so.
Yeah.
I can even figure that.
Well,
You just want the raise,
Well, you had a paper that I handed out, a little spreadsheet that had a 6% figured already. So if you can find that paper,
we can figure it backwards from there.
yeah.
Anybody find that paper?
I think so.
I didn't get it.
I think it would have been in that group of stuff I gave you, the amended, I think. Oh, there it is.
That one?
Yes.
Oh, what's it look like?
Guys, if you haven't noticed, she's so far ahead of you, you don't even know it.
Yeah, here it is.
Right here.
This was the,
With 6%.
Okay, so a 6% across the board for everyone would be $367,000 increase in total wages.
yes. And I'll go back and refigure just to make sure, because I know some of those budgets ended up being amended a little bit.
But that's gonna be a ballpark.
Yeah.
So you're gonna spend about $120,000 for every 2% is what it's gonna cost.
Okay, there you go, that answer.
Easy enough?
Yeah.
Okay. So a 4% raise is gonna be almost $250,000.
400,000,
400,000?
Yeah.
not 4 million.
Huh?
400,000?
$250,000. For a 4% raise would be $240,000.
4 million, he said. I thought he said
You
4
said
million.
4 million a minute
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
I was like.
I think he said a quarter, but it came out.
I mean, that's some good raises.
Yeah.
I think they'll be happy with that.
Well,
My brain, I knew what I said, but my mouth didn't. Yeah. Yeah.
Sugar free?
No.
Ron, if you could edit that out.
They sugar free.
I'm not editing anything.
Even my snafus?
I know. Well, something that you might need to remember too, that Larry taught with 10% for his kids.
That Medlock?
Didn't he sue the county when they didn't give it to him? Yeah,
I wasn't here, but that's the impression I got, yes.
yeah, so,
Well, he threatened us,
yeah.
yeah.
Did he get it?
Yeah.
He can mandate
It
anything.
mandate.
He has the ability to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I know, but,
He's the only
He
one.
did do that, what,
He's the only one that
three,
can
4
do that.
years ago?
Yep, 3 years ago.
3 years
Yeah.
ago?
Holy cow, girl. About blew my ears off.
That'll wake you up in the morning.
Wow. That should be my alarm.
So what if we did 5 and made it like a round number instead of 4%? I mean, it's not gonna be that much of a difference, and it'll.
It'd be about 300,000.
I mean, it'll compensate, yeah, it's gonna take it, drop it another 60,000, and then that's a little bit more in each employee's pocket to offset the insurance that
Yeah.
went up. So I'm thinking 5 instead of a 4%, but
What I was thinking.
yeah, and then maybe look at a few departments, and then we pick a few out that would be the ones that get
over 3%.
5.
Is it
Or don't get 5, they might get 6 or something.
That was, she wanted to come up with 2 options, so
Yeah.
one a blanket raise, and then the next one,
And then not.
what the base raise would be, and then what the more would be,
Yeah.
so, whatever.
Say that again, Andrew, I'm sorry.
I said, I think Michelle was asking for the 2 options, so this was for the blanket, right? So,
Are we doing a blanket of?
and then we were doing an option of base versus more, you know.
So far, I have a consensus of 4% for the, a blanket base, whatever you want to call it.
Is that still 4 or is it now 5? Since we have these numbers.
I could support a 5 as a blanket, but I wouldn't think 4, I would think 4 if you're gonna then target other departments, that's what I'm saying. And that just goes back to Senate Bill 1 questions for me. That's me.
5 blanket, and then
Yeah.
if we target 2 different departments, then it's 4,
Oh.
and then we do the different departments at a different rate.
So 5% if we go with a blanket raise,
Yes.
4% if we target different departments. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll smoke with you, clear my lungs. Do you care to go, well, I guess we know what that number's gonna be. Basically, it's gonna, 5% is gonna be $300,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do a 4, then you get $60,000 that you can put to individual departments. The only problem I have with doing blankets is some of these departments that's doing all this overtime, I mean, they're basically building in increases in raises. Like I said, EMS is over $15,000 per employee.
I think you need to pick the departments that you want to target out. Maybe that's not one you want to target out.
Well, and just to clarify my stance on my hesitation with carving out some departments is what my thinking process on that is. We have information that says, say, this office is 8 out of 10 comparable counties, so we target them, but what about this one over here that's 6th or 7th, and then their department in another county then starts giving all of the clerks a raise or whatever, but they're not in the rotation for 3 years, and so we've just increased that lag in there. That that was what I was trying to explain, my thing
I see
about
what you're saying.
so it's a tough thing to try to carve out which ones you want to give to. That was just my
But it puts them
perspective.
departments farther behind for a year or two until they get to that point. I understand what you're saying, Bob.
And then those people in that department are going to say, well, why are we're always behind, and they're going to come to us and say, well, that was my thought process on how we carve out who it is.
This ain't my pony show, I know it's all to the council, but talking to the highway department, Rick said his funds are separate than what, he's gonna get his funds no matter what. And he said he would like to control his raises by going off of that fact, that, because he gets his money from separate funds than what the general fund would say. So I mean, if that's a starting point.
Some of his,
Yeah.
But also in his line item, he said it was a 6% raise, but he went from 562,000 to 651,000. I think 6%.
Why is that?
Well, his budget is divided up between two different
Right.
budgets. So when you see it went from 562 to 651, you also have to come back here and look. His operator's driver's line in 1176 went from 300,000 down to 250,000. He's juggling two different funds.
But again, that's what.
With his-
And-
with his
and
pay.
He's like everybody else too. I mean, if that's a starting point, he's the number one on the list, so, but, he's having a hard time because of the CDLs and all that, the new. So, I mean, that's a thing to look at for
yeah.
his department.
I guess
Costs about 5,000.
Yeah.
the question for us is now, we got to target, if we do the targeted departments, we got to figure out which ones those are going to be. Is that where we are on that?
Yeah, that's what we're working.
Michelle, is that where we're on? Okay. Okay. Does anybody have any ideas?
Well, these guys are supposed to be looking at that particular aspect of it.
I'm ranking them out now.
He's ranking
Okay.
them.
Sorry, Bubba.
He's about done.
Does that list include the highway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's number one in the book, so we're gonna start there.
Yeah, that's where I'd start. Start at number one and go back.
They send the survey out to all 92 counties. It's not a mandatory thing, so some counties fill it out, some counties don't.
Yeah, when you add the two lines together, it is 6%.
Since the state had the brilliant idea of MVH restricted and regular.
Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, if they know, my understanding of the consumer price, cost of living increase, is it not 2 point something or 3% projected?
Comparable for us, it's barely over 3. But if
Projected.
you take larger areas, it's shy of 3.
Okay.
So this, either way, would be outpace the cost
Yeah,
of,
outpace the cost of
the
living.
national
You know,
cost of
that's-
living raise.
That's kind of what I look at a lot, keeping up.
We just waiting on Bo to finish his book work.
Takes a
Give
while.
it to the slow kid.
Well, it's separated by
I know
population.
it's a lot. We should probably do that ahead of time next year.
So what Rick was telling us that he controls, is that correct in saying that?
The highway department runs off MVH distributions, that is the state sends a specific amount of money each year.
So that makes it easier for him to control where the money goes and all this. Is that correct with saying?
Yes.
It wouldn't affect our general fund.
No, no.
Okay, so, I mean, with that, let's make them happy, in my opinion, because it don't affect our general fund.
Yeah, he basically controls his
If he
own.
thinks he can control it and make his employees happy as department head, hey, I'm all for that. And still get the work completed that the county needs done within that budget.
That's right.
Why aren't we doing it? You see what I'm saying? We're not affecting the county's general fund. We're not costing the taxpayers no more by doing that. It's just costing that department. Happy employees are better employees, I'm here to tell you that.
Well, the next guy in line, be willing to do that. You're saying,
Well-
give him control of it, is that what you're saying?
Well, cause he control, cause.
I think what he's
don't
saying
come out
is-
of general fund, it's not gonna affect us as taxpayers.
Give Rick what he's asked for in his budget, basically.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, is that what you're, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, cause it's not gonna affect the money coming from your pocket, it ain't gonna affect Todd or that Todd, you see what I'm saying, or
And
mine.
looking at his clerical based on counties with the same population size, we're the lowest paid clerical staff in our highway department. Like, nobody's lower than us. So,
You go over and talk to Rick, he's pretty slick on all that.
I talked to
stuff.
Rick.
Yeah, he's pretty good on his stuff.
He stays up on it, and
Yeah.
he's a good manager of what he
He's very
does.
good.
Right.
He's one of the better ones.
And that's why.
Yep.
We
Absolutely.
need
He's the best with overtime.
10 Rick.
You know?
Okay, how do you want to do that?
So would the consensus be to allow the highway the budget that they have proposed?
I think
Yes.
theirs is pretty legit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
I don't disagree.
I
I agree.
with that. And that gets his salaries comparable to those counties that are population-wise similar in size to ours. I mean, I look at our group and I'm thinking, okay, the closest one people could move to would be Jennings. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
And we're even lower than them when it comes to highway department administrative support staff.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good. It's a good
We're
choice.
actually significantly
One down.
One down.
Only 63 to go.
Okay.
29 or 30 more to go.
Hallelujah.
Arc is, I mean, I think theirs is okay too. John,
He didn't.
he didn't.
He did not specify an increase. He's always,
They're all self-funded.
yeah, they're all self-funded. He only has 2 full-time employees that's set in this budget. I mean, his budget is another one. It operates solely on its receipts. County General does pay the park manager his salary. But other than that,
Mhm. I don't think you have to do anything there.
Move on.
so do you think
Park,
just the, whatever we decide on as a
yeah.
base?
Yeah, base.
Yep.
I think they would fall in that. If you go to page 7's auditor,
Thanks, you.
I have no opinion on it whatsoever. I love my job, so I'll be here.
You basically said you're going to be here till you die,
I'll
right?
be here till I
Yeah,
die.
no problem, move on.
I will say, I mean, the staff down there,
We're really good with that.
they are excellent in my opinion.
You got a good
They work
staff.
hard.
Yeah.
But we also know where our financials stand, so.
So you're saying you're good with the 4 or 5%.
You guys are pretty well in the medium too with everybody around us, so, and even in population size, you guys are pretty comparable.
But I am not the boss either, so she may have a different opinion than I do.
She's very modest though about it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't think it's anybody's expectation that we're gonna bump our county, all the way to the top. I think as long as
We're wanting
you're
to
middle of the road,
not be in the bottom two, or the last one.
As long as we're making strides to
I mean, I think
up there.
we bumped some of that last year in the auditor's, budget, so kinda got it up to more comparable to the counties around, so I think that one's okay.
What did we
Next-
say, 4%?
4% will be the base
Base.
if we're going to target different departments.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
If we have the money.
Yeah, I mean, I still have to go back and figure this, but
Surveyor, if you look at
have to have a
theirs,
sustainable budget.
page 8, ranking wise, as far as the surveyor goes, out of the counties in our population range between 25 and 30,000, we rank 3rd. It looks like in the surveyor pay line. 45,930, that was last year. Now
Say base on that.
she put in for a 10% raise.
We're third from the bottom or third from the top?
Well, as far as the surveyor pay,
We're smack dab in kind of the middle.
kinda in the middle,
I almost say they need to just.
'cause they range, yeah, I would think they would fall under the blanket too.
Yeah, that's what I would.
'Cause they're not, they're about middle of the road. Health Department. She put in for 5.
It's fine.
So I think she's, right there too with the blanket.
it's a 4% blanket.
Yeah. 'Cause from what I can see, they're middle of the road too.
Okay.
Oh, let's see here.
Planning Commission asked for 5.
Asked for 5.
That's good.
I'd leave them in the blanket too. Recorder, put in for 10.
I'm kind of stopped you here. Back on 14, and I can't remember who asked me yesterday evening, but somebody asked about the general legal services consulting on page 14, where it went from 12.5 to 32,000.
Yes.
I can't remember which one of you it was.
They said it's because they split out their attorney, because the county attorney, it was too much.
Okay.
They were pushing
Okay.
a lot of that to outside counsel because some of the cases they were running into, and he did say that, they haven't even used any of that legal services to this point from last year out of the 12.5.
Okay, that's fine. I just remember
But-
somebody asked me yesterday afterwards.
I
And
did that.
He said
He
that
said
there's
it
some
was-
things,
He said it was billed and probably gone. It just
yeah,
wasn't billed.
it hadn't hit yet,
Yeah.
was the problem, so,
well, whoever asked me, there's your answer.
there you go. Recorder, they put in for 10.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the bottom two.
They are in the bottom 2 on the pay scale in our population size.
So what would be middle of the road?
They rank, actually, yeah, they rank sixth out of 7 in that.
Well, if we're gonna do a 4% blanket, let's just do 6% for those, for her then, because then that evens us back out to the 5 if we decide not to break it out by department.
True.
I could go with it. Yeah, I could go with
Right.
it. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Figure 6 on hers then, recorder.
Okay.
But she doesn't have that many employees.
Right.
She doesn't have that-
Hurry, I ain't.
Yep.
Right.
Treasurer.
That's for 6%.
She has for 6. They are in the bottom part. It looks like bottom 3 at 7.
And 6%?
Then the 6 the same way, like we did for
I'd leave the
recorders.
6 there on her too.
And she's being she's not
She
filling
has
that
been
junior
very
position
responsible.
until she needs
She
it.
said she wasn't gonna fill
not
it till she
spending that
needs it.
money?
Yep,
Been very responsible.
money's just laying
Being a
there.
good manager.
Yes, she has.
So,
Yeah.
6%.
Weed board, they were at 4, so I'd just leave that.
Yep.
They were already asked for 4.
What about
Extension, that's what he's talking
extension?
about.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
extension.
4.
Yeah, that's what they asked for.
That's what their counterparts at Purdue were receiving as well. I think that would be,
Yeah. Coroner asked for 5. They're actually in the top half
They're-
of what
they've
the
got-
pay does in the
Yeah, they've got big raises in the past.
And
counties
then we've
around.
got the consideration of the
the
vehicle.
vehicle. Yeah.
I would put them
Do
in the
them.
general.
I'd say if we get her a different vehicle where she doesn't have to ride around with the body in the back of a Durango,
It's fine.
she's probably gonna be happy.
I'd leave her at the 4.
Okay.
I would be.
I would be too. Absolutely.
I would leave her at the
I can
4.
imagine that.
Veterans. He asked for
10%.
is a 13
13%.
just on him,
But you do gotta look at the
but
difference between the part-time and him, which isn't a lot.
if you look, he give us a geographical distribution
The amount of money that comes
on
into
the
the county.
VA, and he's bringing in some money. And,
Almost $10 million.
yeah,
He brings in a lot.
Yeah. Provides a lot of service.
He's helped my family out, my little sister, and he does phenomenal work. So,
Yeah.
He's do a very
He,
good
he
job.
does better than other surrounding counties, I do know that.
There's people from surrounding counties coming.
Well, I was
because of
wondering
how
that,
good he
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
so what do you wanna do there? Cause that's just his pay was the only thing that was increasing.
6%?
Put him at the 6?
Yeah.
No.
The higher of the 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Andrew was thinking a little more, wasn't you?
I mean, I think he's entitled, I mean, he doesn't really ever ask for a lot, and he comes in and he brings money into the county and he does such a good job and
So what are you thinking?
Well, it's just, the good thing with his department, it's one guy, you know, pretty much. He has some part-time helper, but it's not a lot. So if you, I mean, that's up to you
You're not gonna
guys.
appreciate 6%.
So a 6% is gonna give him just barely over 40,000, and 8% would put him at 41,489. That's what an 8% would be. I'd say somewhere in that ballpark is,
I would say 8.
So you're adding another layer to this now? We're going 4, 6,
That's my
8,
concern, how many
10,
layers are you gonna
12. We're gonna give the clerk 20, her 20 she asked for?
no. Well, maybe if we take it out of commissioner's pay, but.
You know, I don't care.
Oh, 8 on the veterans? or 6?
I'm good with 8. I mean,
Rank-wise, he's not, and given his geographical size, I mean, that one's kind of way off.
He gets no longevity, has nothing built in there on longevity.
It's because it's paid out of county general,
County general.
Oh,
the commissioner's budget.
okay, sorry.
That's fine.
I'm,
You're learning.
I'm learning.
It's just not.
Yeah.
I'm just, yeah.
well, I think there did need to be a little bit more separation from him and his part-time guy too. Not taking anything away from Rick because
Andrew, I know he eats and breathes it, so.
Right.
You
can tell
you run into him out in public, he's eating and breathing it.
Yeah.
Michelle, is there any other difficulty in having about 6 different levels? No? Okay, 8%, I want.
Figure him at 8.
Okay.
Let's see where it falls. Assessor asked for 10. They fell, let's see, I lost my place. Assessor's bottom 2 on the counties of our size. They actually were the bottom one, ranked 7th.
I would do the 6.
Yeah, I would figure 6
Yeah.
for
Yep.
them too.
Good with that.
Okay. Let's see here. Excuse me. The reassessment,
That just falls in.
that falls into 6.
Okay, good.
So clerk, now here, she's got some 20, 21, 22% increases in all of her lines there between the, she falls in the bottom 2 on the population size.
Go to 6.
I feel like they're gonna need at least the 6, to.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's the way
you
you're
can
gonna
do
rank
the
them,
6, yep.
Where'd that put him?
Puts them in a lot better shape than they.
Yeah, they're in a lot better shape than what they would have been. That's gonna move,
I mean, them the first ones I see where they're in the $30-some thousand to come to work every day. Making now.
Well, they're gonna be in the 40s,
yeah, they'll be up in the 40s
so.
once that's done at 6, so that's,
And 5 years ago, they were in the 30s.
They're still in the 30s today.
Right.
when it's 6%, still leaves them in the bottom.
The bottom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, so her numbers is correct at what she's saying. And even compared to our other offices we look at here within the county.
Maybe 10% then?
I say leave them at 6, that's my.
I say leave them at 6.
I agree with that.
I wish we could do more, but
You're an accountant.
Let's see,
EMA,
EMA, which
you moved it.
we moved her to
full-time.
full-time, so
So
have we already set that amount?
$50,080 is what I have.
50,080.
Yeah.
Yep. So that doubles, almost doubles her salary. 'Cause she's going from part to full,
Well,
technically.
If you count her dispatch and EMA, her
Right,
salary's
she was right.
47,196, yeah.
Yeah. But.
Half of that will be covered.
Half of that's covered.
Yes,
will be
yes.
her
Reimbursed.
grant.
Right.
Let's see, soil and water. They didn't ask for anything.
Next.
They bumped the office supplies, that was it, so you don't have to do anything there.
I would
Just
keep it at
blanket.
2,000, the office supplies.
Keep the office supplies
Yeah.
at 2,000?
Yes.
You think?
I
You
was
know
on the
more about
board.
that, you was
Yeah.
on the board.
They'll be happy, yeah.
How much?
2,000 on office
on
supplies.
office supplies, so their budget would be the same as it was last year.
Salary increase or?
Well, let's see,
They didn't ask for it.
I don't think that's one of the things that are broke out in the fact book. The soil and
It's
water.
not.
Yeah,
It's not.
because not every county has.
When it was originally set on the office manager position, it was based on a first deputy, is what it was based on at that time.
Yeah, I think it still is.
which, yeah, they're at 39,268.
Am I hearing 4?
I would, yeah, just the normal.
Yeah.
Cemetery. I don't really feel like that guy needs any more money to mow. Where's that guy at? Who is that guy anyway?
I wouldn't pay him nothing.
He's strictly volunteer. Now, I'd say leave that one alone. It's a $2,000 increase, but the cost of fuel alone probably bump that. EMS. So we're back to that. They asked for 4. Is what he had down there, I guess.
Some of them figured 6.
Yeah, some of them figured higher than that.
Mm-hmm. Some of them weren't broke out, so you don't.
Yeah, so it's not, it's hard to tell, because there's,
Saying leave it at
I'd
4
say
because
leave it
of
at the
all-
4
Yeah.
because of the overtime.
Yeah.
For now, until we figure out what we're gonna do there.
Okay, but you got some lines like EMT went from 132 to 183. I don't know if it's because we're trying to hire another one.
You ain't gonna get that. What's,
Yeah, I see that. I didn't catch that yesterday.
He asked for that floater.
Yeah, did he bury the floater in that line?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Did he say he did?
He did.
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
But then we'll take it out of their overtime to pay for it.
So, that's why that percentage difference is the way it does.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, leave them at the 4. I guess. Take it out of their overtime?
To pay for that position.
Yeah. Could.
I don't even know if that can be done, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I don't know that he can schedule that. You really need to go out. I'm not even sure I can explain because I don't see his schedule. But every aspect of his schedule is built on employees. All employees have built-in overtime. And due to their shift, I don't think you can do it. It's no different than a fireman. They're gonna have built-in overtime.
But neighboring counties are working 36-hour weeks,
Okay?
is what they're doing.
Okay.
They don't build that 48-hour weekend.
Okay, and he will tell you that if I go to that kind of a schedule, half of them will walk out. That's what I'm telling you.
'Cause our base pay per hour is lower, so they make it up in the overtime hours. Is what he's always explained to me. I've had this
They've
conversation.
gotta be under a private service.
Well, I'm just saying, where are you gonna come up with that money from?
General stipend.
They want it should have went to 700,000, we set it at 650,000. He's still not there.
I know,
I'm just saying,
I know. I know. I'm just telling you the
I know, I'm just saying, if you send him a message that overtime's being cut by this much, you gotta figure it out.
The message.
We're gonna give you another employee.
Yeah, the message will be received, and it should help his overtime, so.
Right.
But as far as the particulars of his schedule, honestly, I don't know, and I don't think anybody wants to know.
Oh, I do.
Because it's well, I mean, you can figure it out, but it is a juggling act.
I'm not saying it's not.
I mean, it's not just a matter of making out a schedule, because at the last minute, a day or two after you get this schedule made up, somebody won't show up for work. Then the juggling becomes, instead of trying to juggle 3 balls, you're trying to juggle 5. I can't explain it to you. He can, and it would be beneficial. You and I can run out there sometime, because honestly, I can't explain his schedule. But he can.
I think after the second ambulance board meeting, I actually went out there, and sat down and talked to him and Mike, and learn a lot, you know what I'm saying? It like, cause I was thinking the way you was. He goes, oh no, the ones we got don't want that shit. They want this, cause that makes up the difference in their hourly rate. Right, Phil?
You'll be hard pressed to find any paramedic, no matter which one you go to, that doesn't have that same opinion. Because it's like a big family.
Todd, the sad, cold truth is, and it's like this in the private sector too, we are being held hostage by our employees. They know it, we know it. When we go changing schedules around, and when it starts hitting home and cutting into their income,
We're losing.
But as their managers, we don't just give them free rein. We control their budgets.
Yeah.
And we say, you have to live within this budget.
I know.
It's your job to figure out how to do it. And I'm saying we cut $50,000 out of their overtime, we give them another position, and they gotta figure out how to make it work.
I agree. Yeah.
We can't just keep saying, oh, we can't figure it out, or it's just this. It's grown 276% in 10 years. It's not sustainable. So this is my suggestion.
Yeah.
So you're saying cut his overtime to 150?
And give him that other EMT.
Give him the EMT line.
And give him 4% raises.
For the floater.
Do we remember, what was the EMT? Was that the 74,000?
Well, but they got it budgeted in here at 183,750.
74,091 was what he said the EMT floater would cost.
Okay.
74,091.
I'll get you a list of employees, because that line is 2 or 3 different.
It's
I mean,
3,
it's
I
not just,
believe, 3 or 4.
well, and if they're part-time
Yeah.
EMT, it'll come out of that line. If they're a part-time paramedic, it'll come out of the part-time paramedic line. Same way with advancement. So it's just not full-time people that are setting in this lines.
Right. But what I'm saying is he's already got budgeted.
Oh, okay.
That went from 132 to 183. He's already got that budgeted.
Yeah.
So we
So
don't have
I
to
don't
add
need
in
to add-
another
okay.
74,000.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to add it in.
He's already requested.
My
We're just-
question is, so on the 12400 overtime line, you want to cut that to 150?
So he had requested $217,662.
Yeah.
And to know it to an exact penny is because it's built in.
That's exactly right.
True. And I know, and that's what I'm saying. Neighboring counties are doing 36-hour shifts, and they're not doing that. We're gonna figure it out.
So overtime and vacation, what are we gonna do? Cut that overtime line 50,000?
Yes.
You will be
Getting an additional appropriation. next
Yeah,
year.
it'll hit.
You will be getting an additional appropriation at the end of the year.
We gave them an extra person. We're telling them to manage their people, manage their budget.
But that won't be enough. What I'm saying is, and I'm not, I don't mean to be argumentative, I can just tell you what's gonna happen. There will be an additional. He will not be willing, nor am I sure that he can devise a 36-hour system. I'm not sure. Too many unknowns, but
Can we tell him we're giving him the floater with the assumption that he's gonna do all he can to cut the overtime?
have
That would have to be.
overtime.
But you would think it would cut it down.
It would have to. I think he mentioned too that it was gonna help with the part-time situation, that he didn't have enough part-time people.
He did say that, and you're correct. It should help with that.
yeah, I'm all in favor of, asking somebody to try a little harder.
So what you're saying is, we're giving you the floater, we need you to cut your overtime, but you don't wanna cut the overtime out of that line.
Well, you
That's all
can, you can.
I was just saying that you may have to add it later.
That's right.
Right.
And we all know Michelle doesn't like.
But we
to-
can't sit here and say that it's okay right now for him to do that.
Right.
We have to say, you have to live by this
All
budget
right, well then cut it.
and make it work.
150,
150.
I don't just get to keep going back to bank saying, hey, I want more money,
Well, you can, you just gotta sign.
but eventually they're gonna say no.
I'm joking.
That's right.
All right, cut that line to 150 on the overtime. And we'll deal with it.
That's still over $10,000
Yeah,
per person in overtime.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting
That's how
down.
we're funding it.
4% raise.
4% raise, giving him the floater, cutting the overtime to 150.
That 183 stays the same.
183, 750 will stay the same. That includes the floater,
Yes.
because that's the difference.
So we're taking the 15 off of the 217, 662 that Mike gave us when he was out here.
The 50, well, the 50 comes off the old.
He added 16,162 to the 201,500 that was written there.
That's correct.
So that made it 217,662.
Yeah,
So
right.
that means you're taking 50,000 off of the 217,662.
Correct.
Because Michelle's gonna need to know that, so.
Yes,
Okay.
you're correct.
So,
What would the figure be then?
so it'll be 167.
167
Instead of 150.
instead of
We're
one.
gonna have scribble marks. Go.
Sorry,
Yep.
clear as mud.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, all right. So jail bond, court bond, that's
Nothing we can do.
nothing we can do there. $31, $32,
35 is your next one.
Thank you.
$35 would be the next one, which was the Superior Court. No change. Just leave them,
Leave them at the.
leave them at the 4, the low end.
That's it.
I know we tried it at one time but is, are we required by the state to give him that $5,000?
Yes. I think that's where his, I believe, somebody correct me, but I think that's where the suit threat came in.
No.
No?
No, that was,
Different.
this
That was the
is,
employees.
this is Superior Court,
Oh,
Yeah.
not circuit.
I believe we
Judge
had
Houch.
Alyssa research that, and I think.
Yes, she
I
said
think we're supposed
that
to.
we're supposed to. That's what she told us when we talked to her about it. But do you wanna, I mean, he didn't ask for anything,
what's
so
with the
it's
blanket,
up to you.
or whatever we agree on. Yeah, it's up to us. He didn't ask for anything, but,
You're not required to,
wow.
but it's a good gesture to
Well, yeah.
do, because one of them has to stay in the county all the time.
Right. So you just wanna leave his alone?
Yeah, I guess.
He's not talking about the 5,000, he's talking about.
I'm talking about
Percentage of the raise.
percentage. Are we gonna give them the 4%?
For the reporters.
For the reporters? He didn't ask for it,
Talking about Dustin.
but are we gonna give him the blanket 4?
He just assumes that they will get the same thing
They'll
every other employee.
take what everybody
Exactly.
else takes.
Exactly, yeah.
So he doesn't even
4%.
ask.
He doesn't ask, but leave him at the 4.
But he expects.
Right.
Right.
Well, that wouldn't be right.
It wouldn't be fair to not give him anything.
Yeah. I'd hate to go to court in front of him after that.
Yeah.
And that could happen.
Circuit Court, page 36. He asked for 10.
Where are they falling in the book
Um,
on court reporters?
let me find it.
Yeah, I know, I'm gonna have another break.
No.
We're
Huh?
on 3.
So they're at 44,000 roughly, 25. One of them is, we don't want a speeding ticket going.
Do you see court reporter in there anywhere, Karen? Did you see that one?
They
I
are on,
couldn't find it.
they're on page 39, that's where they start,
39.
38 and 39. So if you want Washington County, you've got to be on page 41.
Okay.
41.
Page 41, 43. Oh, yeah, there, I did do it.
We're in the second from the bottom.
Yeah, they were ranked 4th out of the 5 that reported, I think. Here's deputies. Oh, actually, they were 3rd at the high end.
Yeah, I noticed that, it was just on the position.
So they were about middle of the road.
Middle of the road. Well,
Did you decide?
that's
Well-
the 6%.
They're about the middle of the road.
What page you on?
On
36.
page 36, he asked for 10.
Oh, okay, that's what I was at, and
I think they're middle of the road. I'd leave them at the 4.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
4.
They're the bottom two.
They're in the bottom 2 and did.
Well,
If you look at the court report.
they range those. So the high end, it's, what I see shows 37,569 to 45,375.
What?
Nope, I'm looking at the wrong line. Sorry about that. Got getting confused. You're right, they actually are in the bottom end.
I think maybe 6.
6?
Maybe put them at the
6.
6.
Well, thank you for pointing.
What
Are
about
you-
the,
Yeah, I was looking
Are
at
you
that.
gonna
1,000 increase on the law books?
Well, here's the problem with the law books.
We talked
We
about
went
that.
through this 3 years ago, I think,
Leave it.
Karen, you probably remember, and he
Leave it
threw
alone.
a fit.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, but we cut it down last year.
we can get them online, though.
I get
agree
it,
with you.
but here's what
Biggest
happens.
joke ever was.
If you
It's on
don't-
the internet.
He'll just mandate it.
He'll mandate
And
it.
I mean, I
Did
know,
he mandate it last year when we cut it?
I don't know if
No.
we might be able to cut it a little.
no,
So what
Um,
if we do half? He's asking for 10, so we give him
Let's do it.
15 instead of 20. I mean, that
it's up
sounds
to
like.
council, that's up to you guys,
I mean, that sounds like a fair
That puts him
compromise.
back to where he was in 24.
yeah. Well, put it at 15.
Yeah.
He'll let us know
He'll
real
let us
quick.
know. He'll let us know.
Oh, yeah.
Go 15.
I mean,
That's fine.
it's
I don't disagree with
No.
you, I'm just
Um,
saying.
Nobody disagrees with you.
Quick question, you're doing 6% for circuit and 4% for superior?
No, we'll have to go back and change that.
I'm just asking, I just
Yeah,
wanna make
yeah,
sure I'm
keep
getting
them
all
both
this
Yeah, you
down.
need to keep them close.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, there's already a gap in the thing.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
42,
You're right.
525, and
You're right.
the others are 40, well, they're 42, 525.
We can't do them any different.
I think you need to do them the same.
Yeah.
most of your superior is the same as his 12401 account. Currently.
Yeah,
So
12401.
they're exactly the same there.
Okay.
So maybe instead of doing, maybe, I mean, I hate to say, well, what's that gonna do to the division between the assistant court reporter 2 and 4, you know what I mean, that are at different, well, actually, his 4 and his, 4, so 3 are exactly the same. If you give them the 4 and you give the others the 6, are you gonna make the 6s go over the ranking of the 4, or are you gonna close that gap between the distinction of their duties within that job? That's something you've gotta think about. So technically, I'm thinking that all of his in Superior are ranked at the same as the other judges. So if you just did blankets at both rates for the same for each one, then, you know what I mean? I'm thinking he's got them right in line
Right, I see what you're saying.
with the ranking of these reporters within the other court system. So I say, as long as you do the same raise across the board for both departments, you're still gonna keep that difference between the levels of their job and what they're doing.
Yep.
And if they are in the bottom, then you're looking at that entire court system doing the 6, you know what I mean? Because technically, if you sit here and break it out, they're one and the same when it comes to what they're currently being paid.
So it just comes down to whether you wanna do,
And they've done, to the judge's credit, they've done a good job of getting those pauper fees down,
Yeah, for sure.
which was a huge.
it was a big thing, you're
That was
right.
a huge
Back
issue.
several years ago.
Catastrophic.
Yep.
Yeah.
So do you wanna do the 4 or the
They're
6?
They're ranking,
Yeah, they were in the bottom.
So,
Which one?
Court reporter,
6%?
yeah,
Move
let's
on.
do the 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 on both then. 6 on Superior, 6 on Circuit. Figure that. Okay.
Public defender, 37.
Public defender,
Yeah, 2, 3,
3 and 5 is what
Let's move on.
yeah, or 2 and 3.
2, and 3.
So leave them at the 4.
Yep.
Leave them at the 4. Probation,
Probation, the only page you have to worry about on that is
E.
page 41. That has the 2 secretarial positions out there.
Standard.
41.
Just say it's standard.
I don't know what happened to my page 41. Did I rip it out? No, there it is. He asked for 5. Or she asked for 5.
Stay with a.
Leave them at the 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Leave them at the 4, because we've jumped theirs some, quite a bit. Pass. So
Your
that
next
goes-
one is page 49.
Yep,
Thank you.
49. 7. 48.
10, 3, 10, and 10 is what was asked.
6.
The secretaries are on the lower end of county employee at 38,000. Yep. And then for the deputy prosecuting attorney was asked for 3.
So 6% for the
Secretaries?
office staff and 3% for the
Yes.
attorneys.
Yes.
6 and 3.
You're going to blood all this work.
Making it difficult.
Let's see.
Uh,
That, the rest of the prosecutor just falls in with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would follow that, so page should take you all the way
To
to
54.
54,
54. Oh, good.
which is
Sheriff's Department.
Sheriff's Department. We made a significant increase in theirs
Stay with their
last
standard
year,
rate.
so
Yep.
I'd leave it at the 4.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what everybody thinks. Everybody want to leave sheriff at the 4?
I think you just asked for 3.
Yeah.
Asked for 3. Yeah. So we're,
Well, that's a plus.
that's a good.
I say 3.
Yeah. Give him what he asked for.
Give him what he asked for then.
Yeah.
3.
With 3?
Yeah. Give him what he asked for.
Well, we jumped theirs
Yeah, they
kind of
got
out of turn, so
huge jump.
they
Yeah, I
got a
know, yeah.
big bump, so leave them at the 3.
We did.
55 detention center, I have the line item 13101. We are zeroing out. Does everybody have that on theirs?
Yes, let's see, that was 13101
Yes.
dispatch EMA, yes.
Okay.
That's strike that out. And then he asked for 15 on the correctional officers, which
I was saying go with the 6.
I had that here somewhere.
With those people. Well, he didn't ask for it. He gets done.
He asked for 15.
In his email, where were they? Did he give that to us where they were?
Yeah, I made copies
Oh.
for you all and handed them
Yeah.
out yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
And he also sent it in an email.
We can't.
Let me pull that up.
Ah, right here.
dispatchers?
So in correctional officers, we're third from the bottom.
Yeah.
I don't think he heard you, Tony.
Yeah, how
Seven.
7?
Yeah.
So it's mid-range. Everybody else get your raises, where we going?
One thing, the top 2 are counties probably, maybe we wouldn't think, so it'd probably put in middle of the pack if you take out Clark and Floyd.
That's what you have to do. You gotta take those high dollar
Well, he
guys out.
said, according to his email, said, based on my salary study, the average starting salary for correctional officer in surrounding counties in June of '25, throwing out the top and the bottom counties, the average is 42,736.
It's just 2,000 below that.
Our correctional officers are 2344 below average in '25. I'm asking for, he said, 13.5% increase.
If we did the 6%, it would bring us up to about $42,800, which would be right in line with.
Yep, 40, throwing out the top and the bottom, he said they were,
Yeah.
the average was 42,736. And you said it'd be 42,8
Yeah,
at the 6.
yes.
Let's do the 6 then.
Let's do 6.
Do the 6, everybody good?
I'm good.
All right, 6% on those then,
For correctional officers?
for correctional
Correctional
officers.
Did you guys figure out 911 because I found that one in the book on page 21.
Have we got the 911 yet?
Well, there's dispatchers,
Yeah, some of the dispatchers
Oh,
set in.
correctional.
Ours is the bottom.
Yeah, I remember looking at that. Well, you wanna do them at the,
I mean, we can't afford to do what, they were wanting, what, 13 or 15 or something?
15?
15.
We can't afford that.
No.
Yeah.
So what would be middle of the range Karen, on what you're looking at?
Say in there, dispatcher.
What would take? $6% would put them at $42,815.
And they would be in line with the correctional officers.
Right.
Which is where they're at now.
But not the average of the 7 counties with a population like ours. They are at the bottom.
True. But I don't think, I would rather leave them.
I would be comfortable with 6%, put them comfortable with correction.
I've got 7 brings them to 43,219.
So the other thing you gotta figure, I mean, the amount of overtime that
Yeah.
is built in to their schedule.
Dispatch too has, yeah.
On the sheriff's department budget, it was $5,300 per employee
Per employee.
that it figured out in overtime. So when we're figuring these numbers, you almost gotta add in, they're only getting $5,300 in overtime.
That overtime schedule hopefully will change, right? We've been talking about doing away with that forever, but they don't want to do it. I understand why the employees don't want it.
But talking to other counties, so we run 3 most time in there. You have the shift supervisor and 2 dispatchers. Most people run 1 shift supervisor, or only have 2 in there at a time on a county of our size. And you looked at the average number of calls per day, it wasn't an abundance of calls or the time frame. I mean, it was 2 hours worth of calls throughout the day is all it amounted to. Doing the math with the sheet that they gave us. I can't imagine that 2 people could not handle that.
Maybe there are other things they gotta
So-
do, but.
I'm not saying that there's not, and there shouldn't be times when the administrators should have time to do administration work. But I'm just saying, all the time, every day, I don't think you need 3.
If you leave them at the 6, there's.
I would leave them at 6 just because we can't eliminate the overtime immediately. So there's still going to be that, and then the 6% is bringing them comparable to corrections.
Leave them at the 6 too, is my opinion.
I mean, that's what I'd be
Everybody's
comfortable
okay
with.
that.
That's good with that.
But again, I think we should look at their overtime budget
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah,
trim
we
it,
need- We need to look at that too.
which is on 56, I think, isn't it? So,
56, yes.
That
So-
was correctional officers you were doing 6% on, correct?
Yes.
Correctional and,
And 911.
yeah, dispatch.
Where you at now with the overtime?
Requested 286,000.
How much were you thinking to drop that?
I think if you leave them where they're at is more than enough at 218,000. I think they need to get fully staffed, and if they need additional money for signing bonus, if they need, gotta figure it out some other way than just keep adding overtime.
Yeah. Well, if you look at their overtime line right now, just on that, department, they've used 134,000 of the 218.
Again, part of that's because it's built into their.
It's because it's built
They
in.
know it's coming.
Right. It's like an open checkbook.
Yeah.
Leave it the same.
At the maximum.
Well-
I'd even cut it, but that's me.
I definitely don't wanna dial 911 and say, put on hold. Because we cut it, you know.
Well, I'm not either, but I think there's enough people in.
I think that it's gonna be an unknown factor with the overtime until we figure out, are we gonna be at the buyouts again? You know, if that's cheaper to do that and it shaves,
Yeah, there's some questions gotta be answered
yeah, we've
here
gotta answer some questions before
that's,
we.
make a good decision on
So
that.
And if we're gonna do that, then you gotta cut even more out of the overtime. If you're gonna buy it back, because that's how you're gonna fund that,
Well,
correct?
I'm gonna suggest dropping it 50,000 and see what,
Oh, I'd just leave it at the 218.
leave it at 218? And then get our questions answered?
And
We've
then
got
we'll-
till October to,
Then we'll answer our questions.
all right, leave it at 218.
Did you get that, Michelle?
But Karen, is that what you're thinking?
We're gonna leave the overtime
I
budget
mean, I'm
Okay.
on on public safety at
trying to get
218.
answers to those questions. I mean, I just
218?
texted Brent.
Yeah.
because
And then we
I
have to
just
answer the
wanted to
questions
help
that
him, and he's like, "Good
we're
to
waiting
see
on
you
some
really
answers
help."
from
But he
what
would
we
like
might-
to see it broken out separately, like overtime versus vacation and holiday and all that stuff, like we used to break it out. He said it's hard to
Okay,
know that
Brent
when we lose one line, so.
Originally just asked for 218 for his department. Remember, I told you we had to roll the 911 dispatcher overtime over into public safety.
Oh, so is that why it went?
So
from
40,
218?
that is why it went from 218 to 286. If you go to your 911 budget, you'll notice his overtime line is gone because
that's
we had
right.
to put it.
Okay,
So
Okay.
45,000 of that is 911 dispatcher overtime.
So it should be 218 plus 45.
Yeah, that's how you got the 286. Did I not add right?
yeah, it didn't come up to 286.
Well,
218,
Be 263.
yeah,
okay, make it 260.
plus
263, let's do that.
Mm-mm.
260.
Oh, well, I don't care.
Mm.
What do you think?
Well, it's like,
If they get fully staffed
I
on
see what he's
911,
saying, yep.
they
then
don't
shouldn't have,
they don't have to build in that much overtime. If you do, you gotta figure that in as their part of their pay, and then we're not gonna give them the 6%. It's one or the other, but we're not gonna keep doing both.
Tell us where you're,
I,
I mean, maybe we leave a pin in that for right now until we figure out what we're doing on the other.
so what are you saying? You're saying drop it to the
218.
218?
okay,
The sheriff needs to get fully staffed, 911 needs to get fully staffed, manage their budgets.
which they're saying they are pretty much. That's what Kelly said anyway.
So leave it at the 218.
Yes.
So I have 6% correctional, 6% dispatchers,
Yes,
and officers 3%,
yes.
is what I understood.
That's what was requested,
Okay.
yes.
That's what he requested. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then cut the overtime.
Yeah.
Gone.
Okay. 218. $59. Commissioner's budget.
Very good. What did we decide on the fairgrounds caretaker? That was a question mark that I had.
They're gonna decide at next commissioners meeting.
Okay. Okay.
Right now.
Yeah, you're still gonna need approximately the same amount of money, whether it's someone else mowing, whether it's keep the position, whatever.
Okay.
You're gonna still need
Yeah.
approximately the same
Okay.
amount of money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not changing. Right.
Fairgrounds, we're gonna keep approximately the same amount of money, whether we have it subcontracted or continue what we've been doing.
So I'm leaving the 30,940.
See what she's saying, yeah.
Where'd come from?
Let's just,
That's Todd's baby, ain't it?
Not this time.
No,
this time.
Wrong Todd.
Not this time. So that would basically be a 7% increase is what it would be from the numbers that are on here right now. Is what that would be.
Just for the sake of simplicity, whatever the raises we put in for,
4%?
Yeah,
yeah.
just do it that way.
Okay.
Do it 4.
we made some strikes in that.
Oh, commissioners and council. I personally don't like moving it myself, but that's my opinion.
We ain't changing that, right?
Yeah.
Moving what?
What was your question, Michelle?
Council, commissioners.
The council and commissioner pay.
Well, you know, you gotta look at it.
I think we decrease it.
I've been on the council 10 years, and they haven't had a substantial raise, just a standard. And the commissioners is barely creeping up, but I was thinking 84 for the commissioners, that gives them 28. 60 for the council.
I think we're all about saving money. I'm on.
Find what?
Says
I'm fine to just forego and not give.
I think you got 4 that say 0.
4 that say 0
Yeah.
4,
for council.
perfect.
Commissioner, same way.
Yeah.
Just to keep it the
I
same.
don't know. For what they go through. Zero.
You don't, in my opinion, you don't do it for the money,
Oh,
for the service.
yeah, you definitely ain't doing it for the money.
No.
4%.
4% for each one then.
That's my call. I'm just one vote.
So, I guess,
Council 0.
No,
No,
4%.
4%.
do we need,
But
do we?
And commissioners,
show of hands or
4%.
Something on
Yeah.
this, or?
Yeah, I just need a consensus of what you all want to do.
Yeah, 4% for both.
that's a consensus with me. If that's not a consensus with you guys, you gotta.
I'd say 0.
I got Gerald as a 0, I got Bubba as a 0. Andrew as a 0, Brad as a 0,
So we're good.
Todd as a 0 for council. Or for both?
I'm both.
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 Both. Okay.
That's a consensus.
We just got railroaded.
Yep. Well,
I think that when we're trying to make tough decisions, it is not just my opinion, it's not a good look to give ourselves a raise.
Yep, I agree.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
It look like he's gonna kill you now.
I think they expect us to give us our, the standard. The community does, you know. They don't expect us to do it for
How many hours you
nothing,
put
but
in? How many hours you put in as a council member? How many? Be honest.
I get a lot of phone calls,
You do?
yeah. I
How
do.
many hours do you actually put into it?
Separate from that, I understand what you're saying, Preston, and I'm just saying that was my opinion. That's how I felt. I'm not saying that your opinion is not more important than mine. I'm just saying that's just my personal.
that's why there's 7 of us.
So there's 7 of us, and that's the way I.
Right.
There was a raise given last year, and I just don't think this is the year. I mean, I want to lead by example that,
Yeah, with the unknowns,
yeah,
I don't wanna move it this year.
no.
I'm good with that.
That's my opinion, but I'm one vote, so
Yeah, one vote.
it's up to everybody, but.
So you got a consensus, right?
I got a consensus.
Thank you.
All right,
Move.
where we at now?
Park and Rec Director.
That's for 6.
Is that John?
Yeah, that's John.
I'd do it at the 4.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yep.
And I don't think he'll have a problem with that.
You won't.
Page 61, and then I believe that is it.
You do a good job keeping this moving. If I can find 61.
61, we cut the, part-time to 5,
He's got 2 though.
cut the,
Supplies.
operating supplies to 25, and cut the courtyard and grounds to 4.
Which actually lowered the budget from last year to 614, 415.
And on the, I guess you just have those 3 positions, custodian,
Yes.
maintenance, and custodian 2. I would do them, my personal opinion's at the 4.
Yeah, that's fine.
Are you okay? I mean, if everybody else is okay with that.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with that.
They work hard.
Yep.
I mean, Tony, he friggin',
Oh, yeah, I was thinking 4 or 6.
he's all over it, I mean,
Yeah,
but, you know.
okay.
The only other question is the part-time rate.
Oh, on the,
What's the part-time rate right now?
I'm gonna bring my paper up here with me. Salary ordinance.
what's the question?
Question on part-time rate, I believe it's 15 something right now per hour.
Oh,
I want me idea.
Hang on.
I don't know.
Other than that, I think the
Jody,
only other
is that
thing
what
we
we're talking
had,
about, or just part-time rate?
were we
I
gonna
think it's
do
all
it?
the same.
All
I think it's
part-time.
all the same.
We decide where we're waiting.
We're gonna wait till we get more info,
But we're gonna bring it out of
but we'll take it out of edit.
Okay.
Is probably the best bet there.
Well, part-time rate is only gonna touch a very few, small amount of people, isn't it? What we're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a small amount.
Yeah.
We do got one thing we need to go back and look at, I think, on the recorder.
Staff got raises and the auditor didn't get a raise.
I agree with that. I think we need to
So,
look at there.
and that's been here, that's been since I've been on the council in the last 6 or 7 years. So we need to
Yeah,
look
that
at
needs
that
to be
because
looked
that
at.
didn't, I know she didn't give
I'll
herself.
check everybody else's as I
Yeah, do that.
go through.
Yeah,
she
like
can-
why don't you
percentages,
check
way- I already know on them too,
Right.
but
Check the others.
Appreciate
I
that.
We
mean,
need to track
the-
that.
The recorder's office is definitely in the bottom two, whereas the other staff within the auditor's office is right in the middle of the road, but all the recorder's office is at the bottom. But like I said, Kyra forgave a raise, I know.
employees.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Or it went up by less than other people.
The percent, you're right.
Do you wanna finish the part-time part, or are you still looking at it?
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
glad you guys brought that up.
Yes.
Because we would've missed that.
I say keep the part-time rate, they said affects very few people.
If it doesn't affect a lot,
it doesn't
I'd leave it.
affect a lot of.
I would keep
Because
it.
I think the
It's 15
assessor's
something.
office and the treasurer's office brings in part-time, don't they? During the
Well,
time?
Some-
the treasurer actually.
She actually
the
cut
floater
hers.
Yeah,
From
Yeah.
the
I
recorder's
believe it,
office.
Yeah.
I believe it is.
And the surveyor's office.
Right.
and they've been working across,
I'm okay to leave it the same.
Same.
where's it at now?
Yeah,
15.
15 something, I think.
yeah.
Or keeping it the same as.
Just keep it the same as what it is right
Yeah,
now.
leave it
I mean,
alone.
it's something we're gonna wanna visit
Down the road,
down the
maybe.
road here soon because of inflation.
All right.
So you want to go back to 7 to the auditor? Is that what you're wanting to do?
She's gonna look at them.
Oh, just look at them
She
all,
pulls
okay.
them and make
I mean,
sure.
Sorry.
that's the only two positions.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
the only example. I
That's the
have
only
right now.
position that's.
Out of balance.
Out of
Out of
balance.
balance. The deputies within those offices is not out of balance. It's
They're
just-
okay. It's
It's
just-
just the elected officials.
Well, yeah, let's
Right.
level that.
That are out of balance by doing that.
And she said she was gonna go ahead and do it for all of them and see where it all.
All right. Are we okay to break for lunch?
We're coming back?
We don't.
I didn't think we'd come back.
We don't.
If you don't wanna come, we don't need to come back.
Because she's got,
It's
What
good.
else is on your all's,
Well,
I mean, because there's no way I can have. these
yeah, it's gonna
things.
take a
no,
while.
that's,
Oh, no.
she's got.
Yeah, I guess we're done then, pretty much.
One
Unless-
thing
oh.
real quick.
Oh,
Got one thing.
Page 9.
What is the general raise we're giving to the health department?
It was a 4, I think. Hang on, I'll have to look.
Yes, 4.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, I got 4.
What page is it on in this book again?
Page 9. There.
This
What is it?
Health department.
people?
Yeah. Be 9 and 10.
Courthouse.
It's 19 in this other book.
Oh,
Down here.
I don't remember what it was.
nobody can see? 69.
I think we need to look at like the food health specialist number within the health department. Because if they're considered the environmental health specialist in the book, we're in the bottom one on that position alone. All the others seem to be kind of more in line or in the top part. But the food specialist is not.
Is that the 10603?
Yes.
Yes.
Who is that food specialist?
That one falls under, the clerical one for the back here, and that one was more in line. Yeah, that one was okay, but this one here, we're way low on that one. So,
I see it, I got it, yeah, I see it.
we're at 37, and it's at, we're on the bottom line.
Yeah.
Like, it's taking the nurse part here, but the environmental health specialist is.
It's gone.
That food is part of that. So,
Well, on page 11, there was an environmental health specialist lead, or lad risk, sorry, on page 11. And then there's nothing budgeted for it now,
That's the one. that
because
was
it came out of the grant.
That was a grant.
yeah, this is, oh, you're talking another page. You're talking this book, I was talking this book.
Oh,
Wait a minute, this
I'm
is
sorry.
the jail people.
No, the budget, yeah. But, so I don't think that food one is the environmental.
I don't think that's
Well, the
environmental.
environmental health specialist, what we've recorded, they're going by the nurse salary here. So is our food specialist a person that's like a clerical role, or are they a?
He goes out and does the permits and stuff.
Oh. So
That's what
it's
the
not
food
a-
specialist does? Okay.
So, I don't know that they have one
God.
for that in here.
Well, and I guess what I look at, the department head didn't request
Yeah.
additional monies for that, so just a
I think we'd
5%.
leave it at the 4 where we left it.
I don't want to micromanage because I don't know the position.
Not an
If they'd asked for it,
Yeah, they didn't ask
If
for
it ain't
it.
broke, don't fix it.
This is based on.
right, I just don't want to assume
Yeah, I agree.
something. I don't want to leave them short if they are
Yeah.
short, but if they didn't ask
They did
for it.
ask for, I think, a 5% on that.
Right, and we're giving them 4,
We're giving them 4,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
if we can.
That's the auditor's order.
I asked about that, but then they said they were going to wait till you went through.
That's the, I would say, that's the only positive absolutely I know right now that's out of whack.
Is those 2.
Well, who's the highest one? What's the difference between the two? Can you give me that? Yeah, just give me the difference between the two and let's see where we're at with that. Are they got similar duties as far as time worked and all that?
$918.
That's what I was gonna say, about $1,000.
Yeah.
difference.
Oh,
Well, just even it out to the largest one.
yeah, just take that.
That's
out.
what I'd
Just take that
recommend.
out above us.
And that way you won't have no discrepancy.
Yeah, I won't miss it.
Okay.
Thank you.
That is everything?
I think so.
I love y'all, but I'm done.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you said that. I was like, no, wait.
Then I guess you need a motion to adjourn?
I need a motion to adjourn.
You got it.
Second.
Second. Motion by Gerald, second by Todd. All in favor, right hand. We're adjourned.
We get right here.
Adjourned.
It was unanimous.
Good work, team.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody.
Thank you.
I'll be in my office.
You got any more room in there?
No. It's a one-man office.
Tell.
3, do your best thinking, huh?
Motion out to adjourn.
Oh, yeah. Tony, you have to stay. You're combining.
Yeah. You gotta adjourn your commissioners.
Ready to adjourn?
I need a motion to adjourn the commissioner meeting.
Hopefully.
Yeah, there wasn't enough.
I make that motion.
To do that.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
There you go. Thank you, Rhonda.
That's okay.